Chapter 91. Do you think I'm not qualified? Mu Qiqi stopped Sheng Xiao and asked. You are the only qualified person in the whole world. What else do you want? Sheng Xiao pushed her onto the big bed. Sleep. I really have something to do. Mu Qiqi was relieved. She nodded and went into the bathroom to wash up. When she was done and returned to the bedroom, Sheng Xiao was no longer there. If he had something to do, why did he keep her in the new house instead of sending her back? It was because Sheng Xiao believed that she was the mistress of the house. If the mistress did not stay in the house, where should she stay? As for what Sheng Xiao said, it was because Jing Yin had called him, because of Mama Sheng's sudden attack. So, he had to go to another place first. Mama Sheng looked around the house that she had prepared for Sheng Xiao. She saw traces of Sheng Xiao's life everywhere and asked Jing Yin, Does young master bring women back usually? Occasionally, Jing Yin answered. Mama Sheng was satisfied with the answer. Otherwise, what was Sheng Xiao's intention to move out? What kind of people? Young ladies or those? I've only met them once. Moreover, young master did not allow me to investigate their identities. Jing Yin answered honestly. Madam, you know young master's temper. I can't interfere with his private affairs. All right. Everyone knows what he is like. It's fine as long as he has women. He promised me to get married in 2 years. I want to see what kind of surprise he will bring back then. As they talked, Sheng Xiao drove to the villa. He was surprised to see Mama Sheng at home. Why are you here, Mom? Of course I'm here to see how exciting Sheng Xiao's life is. Mama Sheng snorted. You can't stay at home anymore after moving out. I can't see you, so of course I have to come here myself. You see me now? Sheng Xiao asked with a chuckle. I'm relieved to have Jing Yin by your side. Remember what you promised me. With that, Mama Sheng had an idea of Sheng Xiao's private life. She was about to leave. Come and see your mother when you have time. I know. Then Mama Sheng drove away. Sheng Xiao looked at Jing Yin and asked, What did you ask? Were there any women coming in and out? What kind of women were they? Jing Yin replied. Sheng Xiao snorted coldly. The entire Sheng family was probably watching his private life. Young master, you can't keep hiding like this. Sooner or later, you'll have to face it. That's my business. So she's the only one? Jing Yin asked tentatively. Jing Yin, one day, when you fall in love with someone, you will understand how I feel. Sheng Xiao did not explain much, and drove back to Mu Qiqi's side half an hour after Mama Sheng returned home. When he turned on the lights and saw Mu Qiqi sleeping soundly on the big bed, he felt very calm. In her dreams, Mu Qiqi felt someone carrying her. Her body was light as a feather, but she could not open her eyes. The next morning, the Mu family drove to the little mansion to pick Mu Qiqi up. Mu Qiqi was wearing her cream-colored chiffon dress. She was accompanied by 4 lawyers. They arrived at the Mu family's house. Papa Mu and Grandpa Mu did not expect Mu Qiqi to bring so many lawyers with her. Naturally, they were not happy about it. Qiqi, can't you just treat it as a casual chat between family members? Do you still have the mood to chat with Mu Group in such a situation, Mr. Mu? Mu Qiqi asked Papa Mu in return. I believe I've seen through both of you after all these years in the Mu family. That's why I'll skip the pompous talk and get straight to the point. Are you going to hide anything from me? Papa Mu and Grandpa Mu did not expect Mu Qiqi to be so sharp-tongued. They really had to look at her in a different light. What do you want in order to let Mu Group go? It's your mother and Shui, or who are in charge of the exchange of exam papers. It has nothing to do with Mu Group. On the day of the celebration party, I saw that Mu Tongxue had brought you a lot of glory. Why are you trying to distance yourself from her now? Tell me what you want, Papa Mu said directly. 10% of Mu Group shares. As long as you agree, I will let Mu Group go and put in a good word for Mu Group. Are you dreaming? Grandpa Mu shouted angrily. Do you know how much 10% is? Grandpa gave Mu Tongxue 5% of the shares on the day of the celebration party. Why is it a dream for me? Mu Qiqi asked Grandpa Mu. Are you still going to be biased at such a time? I don't care if you believe me or not. I didn't give Grandma too much medicine. Mu Tongxue is so good at acting. Don't you know what's going on? Mu Qiqi said stubbornly. Of course. I will find the evidence whether you believe me or not. Qiqi, I can give you the shares of Mu Group. But isn't it too much to ask for 10%? Papa Mu tried to negotiate with Mu Chichi. I only have 12% of the shares. Do you want 10%? Don't you think that's too much? I'm just giving you a suggestion. Of course, you can choose not to come to me. Chichi, who taught you to be so greedy? Grandpa Mu was very interested in the person behind Mu Chichi. Is that French tycoon teaching others to fight for their property? I'm sorry, but that French tycoon is your enemy. He is Sheng Xiao. You just need to answer me whether you agree or not. Or do you want to continue to see if you can endure it? Papa Mu was very angry. But Mu Chichi brought 4 lawyers with her. He did not dare to do anything. Give us 2 days to think about it, Papa Mu said to Mu Chichi. I will give you an answer after 2 days. And I have another condition. Mu Chichi's eyes were sneaking a peek at Mu Tongshua's room as she spoke. I want to meet my twin sister. In her room, Papa Mu answered impatiently. But Grandpa Mu still believed what he saw and heard with his own ears. He had already sentenced Mu Chichi to death in his heart. It was the stubbornness of an old man. The negotiations were soon over, and Mu Chichi led her lawyer to the door of the room she had not seen for a long time. It was Mu Tongshua's room right across from it. Papa Mu was anxious and angry when he saw Mu Chichi walking out of the study. Dad, what should we do now? 10%. She wants to take 10%. Why would an 18-year-old girl want the shares? Could it be that the person behind her, or Su Zipei, is plotting against Mu Group? I would rather die than agree to it. Then just wait and see. The shares of Mu Group will fall even more when her results are out. Grandpa Mu snorted. Also, my daughter-in-law will sue you for divorce when she comes out. That was one disaster after another for Papa Mu. At that moment, Mu Chichi had reached Mu Tongshua's room. Didn't Mu Tongshua like to fight? Chapter 92. There was only a wall separating them. But the difference in treatment between the 2 sisters was like the difference between clouds and mud. In the past, Mu Chichi would not simply enter Mu Tongshua's room. First, she was worried that she would be the scapegoat for her. And second, she was afraid that she would be framed. However, Mu Tongshua's room had a lot of good stuff. She would be lying if she said she was not envious. However, today, the 2 of them had finally experienced an earth-shattering change. It was almost impossible for Mu Tongshua to make a name for herself in Jianchuan now, wasn't it? With that thought, Mu Chichi pushed open the door of Mu Tongshua's room and saw the girl sitting by the bed. Her hair was disheveled, her face pale, and her eyes empty. So, this was the terrifying face of a defeated person. Mu Tongshua heard the door open and saw Mu Chichi standing in front of it. The 2 sisters looked very similar, but looking at them now, they didn't seem to have anything in common. Sister, are you here to kick me when I'm down? Mu Chichi walked into the room when she heard Mu Tongshua's question. Then, she glanced at her room and asked calmly, Do you know how envious I was of having so many good things in your room that I don't have? Sister, you have been my scapegoat since you were young. That's why you couldn't get any love from your family. I thought that this situation would last for the rest of my life, and that I would be protected by you for the rest of my life. But where did I go wrong? You framed me before, including what happened to Grandma, and even when I was chased out of the Mu family. But I didn't hate you that much until you exchanged my exam papers. Mu Chichi said to Mu Tongshua. Do you know, when you took my score and flaunted it everywhere, I really wanted to strangle you to death. But now you've won. I have nothing, and I'm locked in my room by Dad. What else do you want from me? Are you satisfied with me? Mu Chichi lowered her head to look at Mu Tongshua and asked seriously. No. So you're just lucky now. We're just having a temporary truce. Do you think I'll let you go so easily? That's impossible. Elder sister, we've already fought to this extent. What other leeway is there? Your mommy chose me. Your father hates you to the core. Your grandpa doesn't care about you. And you're still carrying the punishment from the education department. What else do you have to fight with me? Mu Tongshua laughed at Mu Chichi's words, even tearing up. Sister, I'm really not used to such scheming words coming from your mouth. The man behind you must have given you a lot of ideas, right? Although I can't find anything now, there will be a day when you give yourself away. When that time comes, You and that man of yours will definitely be turned into ashes by me. You'll never have that chance. Don't forget, you're in the light now, and I'm in the dark. It's too easy to touch you. The conversation between the two sisters did not sound like something a pair of 18-year-old twins would say. It sounded more like a game between adults. Of course, Mu Qiqi had long since stopped treating herself and Mu Tongxue as little girls. Ever since the day she found out that her test papers had been switched. Is that so? Let's wait and see. Then, Mu Qiqi left Mu Tongshue's room. She was sure that Mu Tongxue still had the courage to fight even if she had nothing now. Perhaps Mu Tongshue's nature meant that they could only be enemies. They could never be sisters. Therefore, before she left the Mu family, Mu Qiqi told Papa Mu, "You should keep a close eye on Mu Tongxue, Mr. Mu. Otherwise, she wouldn't be content." Then Mu Qiqi and the lawyer returned to the small mansion. Papa Mu was furious. Now the whole family was counting on Mu Qiqi to put in a good word for the Mu family. But Mu Tongxue was still stirring up trouble. When Mu Qiqi left, Papa Mu quickly went to Mu Tongshue's room, grabbed her hair, and gave her a tight slap. "Do you believe that I'll strangle you to death?" Mu Tongxue had been tormented by Papa Mu for the past few days. She shuddered when she saw his ferocious face. When they returned to the small mansion, Mu Qiqi told Su Zipei about her negotiations with the Mu family. Su Zipei could not help shaking her head and sighing after listening to Mu Qiqi's description. There's really nothing good in the Mu family. How's Mu Tongxue doing now? She still wouldn't admit defeat. That's why I deliberately reminded the Mu family to be careful of Mu Tongxue when we left. That's why she couldn't avoid a beating. Mu Qiqi answered Su Zipei. Aunt Zipei, even so, I still haven't vented my anger enough. Su Zipei stroked Mu Qiqi's hair and comforted her. You have everything now. You don't have to be afraid of that. Moreover, we still have a long way to go. The Mu family was still struggling on the brink of death. They would definitely be dealt a second blow once her results were out. It all depended on whether the Mu family was willing to part with the 10% of the shares. Qiqi, I see that you've become a lot more depressed recently. You're not as happy as before. The Mu family is suffering now. You could go to Chantian or some other friends to relax. I'm fine, Aunt Zipei. Mu Qiqi smiled. I have a bright future now. Don't worry. I won't sulk over the scum of the Mu family. It's all over now. That's good. Leave your mother's matter to me. Don't worry. Mu Qiqi hugged Su Zipei and acted coquettishly in her arms just like before. Aunt Zipei, thank goodness you're here. It's young Master Sheng who helped you. You should thank him. With that, Su Zipei returned the recording pen to Mu Qiqi. Young Master Sheng gave it to you. Keep it for self-defense. It was the first gift Sheng Xiao gave her, which was why she cherished it. Although she had not used the pen yet, Mu Qiqi still took it back, because it meant a lot to her. All right. You must be tired. Go and rest. Su Zipei could not help coughing when she said that. Mu Qiqi noticed it immediately. Aunt Zipei, do you have a cold? It's just a cough. I'll be fine after taking some medicine. Chapter 93. Lu Wenhua was supposed to come over in the afternoon, but Su Zipei was afraid that he would know that she was sick, so she told him that she was going out. Late at night, when Lu Wenhua was calling Su Zipei, he heard her coughing, so he was worried and rushed to the villa. Su Zipei was shocked when she saw that. Luckily Qiqi is asleep. Otherwise, if you stay in the mansion so late at night, people will gossip about you. Su Zipei was shocked. You have a fever. I will take care of you, and then I will leave. Lu Wenhua smiled. Su Zipei could not stop him. She could only let him do whatever he wanted. But Su Zipei's fever only subsided at around 11 o'clock. Lu Wenhua packed his things and was about to leave. But he heard Mu Qiqi coming down the stairs quietly. Then Mu Qiqi went out. Lu Wenhua followed behind her. He saw her getting into Sheng Zhao's car with his own eyes. Lu Wenhua was shocked when he saw that. Because of Mu Qiqi's diary, the whole school knew about it. But it was just a little girl's thought. He did not care about it. But if she went out with Sheng Xiao, it would be different. Or perhaps, the two of them had matters to attend to, and he was overthinking things. But no matter what, He would not be able to rest in peace if he did not get the answer. After all, he had treated Muchichi and Su Zipe as his family. When they arrived at the new house, Muchichi told Sheng Xiao everything that happened in the Mu family, including the condition she proposed to the Mu family. Sheng Xiao saw that Muchichi was fearless even when facing the Sheng family. He could not help but lift Muchichi's chin. He looked into her eyes and said, "I believe that you have grown up this time. After all, you are much bolder than before." "Xiao Xiao, do you think the Mu family will agree to it? Muchichi is in trouble now. The other brothers of the Mu family will not just sit and watch. After Mama Mu is released from the police station, she will ask for a divorce. He will agree to it in order to calm Mu group down as soon as possible." "I am relieved. I just want to get some benefits for Aunt Zipe. Why don't you get some benefits for yourself? I have you. I have everything. I don't need anything else." Muchichi looked at him seriously. "Am I right?" Sheng Xiao chuckled and tapped her head. "Aren't you going to take a shower? I'm over there. I've showered." Muchichi rubbed her head and said, "I'll go get the water for you." When Sheng Xiao saw Muchichi turn around, he thought about how they had never gone to the last step, even though there had been many things that had happened before. Both of them did not have such thoughts. But now that things had finally stabilized and they had entered the stage of cohabitation, he did not have to worry so much anymore. That was why he was wrapped in a towel when he came out of the bathroom. His bronze-colored skin was still dripping with water droplets. His body was muscular and sexy, especially his slender thighs. To Muchichi, not a single part of his body was not seductive. So she quickly closed her eyes. "Why didn't you put on your clothes today?" Sheng Xiao walked up to Muchichi and pushed her down on the bed. He pressed himself against her and asked in an extremely sexy voice, "What do you think?" "Of course I'm going to do you." Muchichi suddenly tensed up. "But you're so sudden. I'm not prepared for anything." As Muchichi spoke, Sheng Xiao had already pulled open the drawer of the bedside table, where there were all sorts of condoms. "Did you think Jing Yun wouldn't prepare something like this for me?" Muchichi's eyes widened. Muchichi wanted to say something, but Sheng Xiao had already lifted her pajamas. "Little bastard, I want you." With that, Sheng Xiao unbuttoned Muchichi's pajamas and leaned over to kiss her. This kiss was different from before. Muchichi was both looking forward to it and afraid. She had thought about it many times. But she never thought that it would happen today. Tonight, Muchichi hooked her arms around Sheng Xiao's neck. Her body could not help but cooperate. It was their first time, and they did not have much experience. They were just relying on instinct. Muchichi was lost in Sheng Xiao's perfect body. Every muscle on his body was smooth and strong to the touch. But Sheng Xiao's experience was not so good. "Do you really think everything is small when I call you little thing? Only your waist is passable on your whole body." Muchichi was very shy. She could not help but look for something to hide from Sheng Xiao's gaze. But Sheng Xiao simply threw the thin blanket away. "I'll naturally get someone to help you with your body now." "Xiao Xiao." The man's kiss, the man's sweat, the unbearably intimate atmosphere, and the already messy bed were all stimulating Muchichi's nerves. She did not even know when Sheng Xiao opened the drawer, or when he was ready to take her. Muchichi looked at Sheng Xiao. There was no sign of retreat in her eyes either. She was very determined. She wanted all of this man, a complete everything. Then Muchichi felt pain. It was the pain of being stretched and torn apart. She could not help resisting. "Xiao Xiao, it hurts. It really hurts." Sheng Xiao reached out to hold Muchichi, but did not continue. He saw that Muchichi's face was pale from the pain, and he did not dare to move. After all, it was like taking Muchichi's life when he penetrated just a little. If he really disregarded everything and forced himself, Muchichi would not be able to get out of bed for a long time. He still had to feel sorry for his little thing. So he carried Muchichi into the bathroom and put her in the warm bathtub. Muchichi sobered up a little from the pain. She buried her head in Sheng Xiao's chest and paused for a moment. Then she said hoarsely, "Xiao Xiao, why don't we?" "No." Sheng Xiao answered directly. "We'll talk about it when you're better." "But that pain is unavoidable. Close your eyes," Sheng Xiao ordered domineeringly. Muchichi did not dare to move, and could only close her eyes. Even so, she could feel Sheng Xiao's hands cleaning her body. Then the two lay on the messy bed. The ambiguous atmosphere had yet to disperse, and Mu Qiqi leaned into Sheng Xiao's arms. She could not help asking, "Xiao Xiao, do we?" "Sleep," Sheng Xiao said quietly. "Are you disappointed?" At that, Sheng Xiao reached over with one long leg and pressed it over Mu Qiqi. "You're still not mature enough. It's normal that you can't tolerate me." Chapter 94. Mu Qiqi was at ease in his arms. She closed her eyes and said, "Do I need to choose anyone else when I have you? Does it still hurt there?" Sheng Xiao asked from above her head. "It hurts when I move," Mu Qiqi answered honestly. Sheng Xiao got up from the bed and put on his clothes. Mu Qiqi was puzzled. She wanted to ask him, but he had already picked up the car key from the bedside table. "I'm going out for a while. You sleep first." "Xiao Xiao." Mu Qiqi wanted to get up, but Sheng Xiao had already disappeared from the room. Mu Qiqi did not know where he went. She started to think about it. But in less than half an hour, Sheng Xiao came back with the medicine in his hand. "Xiao Xiao." Sheng Xiao went to the bathroom to wash his hands. Then, he went back to the bed and lifted Mu Qiqi's blanket. Mu Qiqi was stunned. She wanted to get up, but Sheng Xiao stopped her. "This medicine can relieve the pain a little. I'll do it myself. Can you see?" Sheng Xiao snorted. Mu Qiqi blushed. She had never thought that Sheng Xiao would do such a thing for her even though they were already so close. But with Sheng Xiao's status, he could do whatever he wanted without caring about her feelings. But he was so considerate. Mu Qiqi just lay there. After a while, she felt the body next to her sinking. She jumped into Sheng Xiao's arms. She was very satisfied. "Xiao Xiao, you are the best to me. You are useless." Sheng Xiao hugged Mu Qiqi. Although his words were harsh, his body was honest. He comforted Mu Qiqi and coaxed her to sleep. Their first time did not go well. Of course, it was not terrible either. What they did not know was that Lu Wenhua saw them going out in the middle of the night. He was already suspicious. But when he saw Mu Qiqi the next day, Lu Wenhua did not expose Mu Qiqi, because he still needed to know if they were in a relationship, or if they really went out in the middle of the night because of something. "Thanks to you, I feel much better." Suzy Pei thanked Lu Wenhua. She looked at Lu Wenhua with a much gentler gaze. When she married that bastard, she had never been taken care of like this. So, she would not be lying if she said that she was not moved. "I'm glad you're fine," Lu Wenhua answered Suzy Pei. Then he asked, "Is Qiqi close to young Master Sheng?" "Young Master Sheng is our greatest benefactor. Qiqi relies on him the most, and he takes good care of us." Suzy Pei smiled. "Young Master Sheng is not like what the rumors say. He is just unforgiving." "That's right. Is Mu Qiqi close to young Master Sheng in private?" "I didn't." Suzy Pei shook her head. "Young Master Sheng is very busy with work. He doesn't come to the villa often." "What's wrong? Why did you suddenly ask?" "It's nothing. I just feel that young Master Sheng really cares about Mu Qiqi." Lu Wenhua had only seen it once. Of course, he couldn't just tell Suzy Pei like that. He had to confirm it. It would be best if things did not turn out the way he expected. But if there were feelings between the two that they shouldn't have, things would get complicated. Leaving aside the consequences of Suzy Pei learning about it, Sheng Xiao's reason for helping Mu Qiqi was not as simple as it seemed. Hence, Lu Wenhua decided to observe a few more times. Meanwhile, the members of the Mu family were still in a terrible predicament, because Mu Qiqi's conditions had indeed exceeded their bottom line. Papa Mu hoped that he could get Mu Qiqi's help without paying any price. But deep down in his heart, he knew that it was impossible. Mu Group was in trouble now. His brothers were pressuring him. Ever since Papa Mu took over Mu Group, he had never been so troubled. Mu Tongxue had been beaten up for a few days. She knew that if she didn't fight back, she might not be able to win back Papa Mu's heart. So late at night, she kept thinking of a way to regain her father's favor. After all, she had nowhere else to go other than Mu Group. After she thought of a way, she walked out of her room. She tiptoed to Papa Mu's study room. Papa Mu said in an unfriendly tone when he saw her at the door, "Why are you here?" "Dad, I'm here to help you," Mu Tongxue said to Papa Mu. As long as you still think that I'm your daughter, I'm willing to give you the 5% of Mu Group's shares that Grandpa gave me. It's to appease your anger. Do you think that you can still keep your shares? Dad, apart from this, there's also the matter of Mommy wanting to divorce you. I can help you deal with the aftermath. I promise, she won't take a single cent from you. Papa Mu looked at Mu Tongxue. He thought that it was a joke for an 18-year-old girl to say something like that. But, after laughing, Papa Mu became serious again, because he knew that he had a wrong impression of his two daughters in the past. Mu Tongxue's strength was not shown at all. Thinking about that, Papa Mu nodded and waved at Mu Tongxue. Shuer, come here. Mu Tongxue walked to Papa Mu. Papa Mu stood up and patted her shoulder. As long as you can help me solve these two problems, I won't be angry with you anymore. Everything will go back to how it was before. You'll still be the most beloved daughter of the Mu family. Dad, don't worry. With the 5% of Mu Tongxue's shares, and the other half that Grandpa Mu was willing to give up, it was not a problem to solve Mu Qiqi's problem, as long as it did not harm his interests. But, I won't be able to go to school anymore. You can't go to school, but the Ministry of Education did not say that you can't invite a teacher to our house. It's just that you can't take the exam for 5 years. You can learn first. After 5 years, you'll get a diploma. It was so easy to reach a consensus. Mu Tongxue thought about the humiliation and hatred that Mu Qiqi brought to her. It was fine. She would let Mu Qiqi have the upper hand now. When the time was right, she would get it back. Are you really confident about your mother's matter? Dad, trust me, Mu Tongxue said to Papa Mu. Mu Tongxue replied to Papa Mu. I'll learn my lesson this time. I won't do such a shameful thing again. It's good that you know. So, the Mu family decided on the shares. They contacted Su Zipei as soon as possible. Su Zipei called Lu Wenhua out of reflex. Chapter 95. Mu Qiqi was already an adult. Logically speaking, it was not a bad thing to be in a relationship. But it was complicated between Mu Qiqi and Sheng Xiao. First of all, the two families were enemies. Secondly, they were the benefactors of each other now. He did not want to think about how much trouble the Sheng family would put in when they were together. Mu Qiqi was still young. Lu Wenhua did not want her to get involved in a relationship at such a young age, especially when it was with Sheng Xiao. After all, Sheng Xiao was the crown prince of Huangyao. He would inherit his father's position and become the CEO of the Diamond Empire. So, Sheng Xiao did not have the right to choose his partner. So, he had to confirm their relationship. It would be best if he guessed wrong. But if he guessed right, he had to do something. Soon, it was 11 o'clock at night. Mu Qiqi went out as promised. She got into Sheng Xiao's car, and the two of them disappeared at the entrance of the small mansion. Lu Wenhua wanted to follow them, but he was afraid that Sheng Xiao would notice him. So he stopped outside the small mansion. If he told Su Zipei about it now, Mu Qiqi would be caught red-handed. But he did not want to agitate Su Zipei. He wanted to think about how to deal with it. Not long after Sheng Xiao left, Lu Wenhua also left. Sheng Xiao had planted his men in the security area of the small mansion. So, when he saw Lu Wenhua leaving with Sheng Xiao, he immediately called Sheng Xiao. Young Master Sheng, Mr. Lu seems to be following you. Sheng Xiao stopped the car by the roadside and turned off the engine. Not long after, Lu Wenhua's car passed by them. Mu Qiqi did not know what Sheng Xiao meant. So she asked, "What's wrong? Principal Lu found you in my car." Sheng Xiao replied with a gloomy look. Then he asked Mu Qiqi, "Do you want to admit it or clarify it?" Sheng Xiao did not care about who knew about it. But he cared about Mu Qiqi's feelings. As long as Mu Qiqi said that she would clarify it, Lu Wenhua's misunderstanding would be cleared up soon. "Xiao Xiao, do you think Uncle Lu will tell Aunt Zipei?" Lu Wenhua is very careful. "If he is not sure, he will not tell your aunt," Sheng Xiao replied. Then he started the engine again. "Then, what will be the consequences if he finds out?" Mu Qiqi looked at him and asked seriously. "I'm going to university soon. I'm an adult too. My privacy and private life should be protected." Compared to her previous panic, Mu Qiqi was much calmer now. "I'm afraid Lu Wenhua won't think so." Sheng Xiao smiled dangerously. "Who do you think I am?" What kind of person was he? Forget it. You don't have to worry about it. Why? He will definitely come to me first, Sheng Xiao answered confidently, and entered the new house with Mu Qiqi. Remembering that the Mu family had agreed to give her shares, she asked, "Can I transfer the shares to Aunt Zipei now? Are you sure you won't leave any for yourself?" Mu Qiqi shook her head. "I'm following you. Why do I need the Mu Jia's shares?" Because she didn't want to be entangled with the Mu family. Because if her relationship with Sheng Xiao were to be exposed one day, at least she would be able to distance herself from the Mu family. Sheng Xiao understood what she meant. He pinched her face. "I've told you before. You don't need to think about me. You can fight for what you want. I want you." Mu Qiqi answered Sheng Xiao straightforwardly. But it was a psychological need. But Sheng Xiao misunderstood it. "Your body needs to rest a little more." Sheng Xiao carried her into the bathroom. They came out after an hour. As for what happened in the bathroom, Mu Qiqi's red face could explain it. After a while, Mu Qiqi fell asleep in Sheng Xiao's arms. As for Sheng Xiao, he thought that he would have to meet Lu Wenhua first tomorrow. The next morning, Sheng Xiao went back to Huang Yao first. Jing Yin received a call from Lu Wenhua. It was a formal call. It seemed that Lu Wenhua was serious about it. "Young master, you have half an hour during lunch break. You can meet Principal Lu. Arrange a place where people won't notice. Remind me when I meet him," Sheng Xiao answered. Understood. Jing Yin made the arrangements. It was a cafe opposite Huang Yao. During lunch break, Sheng Xiao went to the cafe. When he saw Lu Wenhua, he did not wait for him to speak. Sheng Xiao said, "Are you looking for me because of Qiqi? It seems that young master Sheng already knows about it. I've arranged someone to watch you in the villa. He saw your whereabouts," Sheng Xiao answered straightforwardly. Lu Wenhua frowned when he saw that. He asked Sheng Xiao, "You and Qiqi? I thought that you already understand." "Young master Sheng, why? You know that nothing will happen between you and Qiqi. She is still a child. If you treat her like this, what will happen to her when you two separate in the future? Let's not talk about the feud between your two families. Even if there is no grudge between you two, how can anyone enter the Sheng family just because they want to?" Lu Wenhua questioned Sheng Xiao directly. But Sheng Xiao was very calm. There was even a smile at the corner of his mouth. "Since you came to me, it means that your feelings for Aunt Zipei are real," Sheng Xiao replied. "Now, I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about Qiqi?" "I, Sheng Xiao, never hide my private affairs. You should know that, Principal Lu. But Qiqi did not want Aunt Zipei to be sad and worried. So we did not reveal our relationship to the public." "How dare you reveal it to the public? The Sheng family can eat Qiqi." "How do you know that I can't protect Qiqi, Principal Lu?" Sheng Xiao looked at Lu Wenhua firmly and asked. "She is mine. Since I approve of her, I will not let anyone hurt her. You say it so easily now, but in the future your parents will pressure you." "Do you think that I am someone who relies on my parents? Even if you are very capable, what if your parents threaten you? What if your father threatens you with death?" After listening to Lu Wenhua's words, Sheng Xiao could not help but laugh. "Principal Lu, you must have read too many romance novels. I believe that you have heard about me before. As long as I have set my eyes on someone or something, no one can touch it unless they step over my body. Moreover, what is done cannot be undone. Qiqi and I are indeed together. It is the truth whether you accept it or not, Principal Lu. When the time is right, I will tell Aunt Zipei. If you don't want her to get hurt, you better listen to me." Actually, Lu Wenhua knew that he could not change anything by coming to Sheng Xiao today. But he did not expect that Sheng Xiao would admit it so easily. "I have something to do in the afternoon. Sorry, I cannot accompany you." Then, Sheng Xiao stood up and left Lu Wenhua. At this time, Jing Yun said something to Lu Wenhua. "In the beginning, I was the same as you. I strongly opposed it. But, in the end, I could not win against young master's persistence. I am not asking you to rest assured. I can only tell you that I cannot guarantee that Miss Mu will not get hurt. But, I can guarantee that young master will bear all the pain that Miss Mu suffers." Chapter 96. Sheng Xiao had said it just now. What was done could not be undone. Could it be that Lu Wenhua did not understand the meaning of these words? Moreover, they went out at night and came back the next morning. Even if Sheng Xiao did not say it, Lu Wenhua would know that Mu Qiqi and Sheng Xiao were inseparable now. He did not think that he could change anything. He just wanted to know what Sheng Xiao was thinking and how he was going to help Mu Qiqi settle down in the future. Lu Wenhua felt terrible when he saw the current situation. He had to think from Su Zipei's point of view. Principal Lu, if there is nothing else, please leave. Lu Wenhua took a deep breath, stood up and left the cafe. Then he drove to the small mansion. But Mu Qiqi was not at home. Why are you here at this time? Have you had lunch? No. Lu Wenhua shook his head. Then I will cook for you. Just wait for a while. Lu Wenhua did not want to eat Su Zipei's food. He just wanted to give her a chance to talk. But he did not want to do it on purpose. So he sat down at the dining table and saw Su Zipei serving him a bowl of noodle soup. He could not help but remind her. It is not safe outside these days. You and Mu Qiqi should not go out at night. We usually sleep at around 10 o'clock. Why should we go out at night? Zipei. Su Zipei was anxious when she saw that he wanted to say something. What do you want to say? Nothing. You had a fever last time. When I left, I heard some rustling sounds. I don't know if it was a rat or a thief. You should be careful at night. Lu Wenhua said and focused on eating his noodles. Because he could not tell Su Zipei directly. But he could not say nothing either. He could only remind Su Zipei. He hoped that she would notice the relationship between Mu Qiqi and Sheng Xiao. I know. Su Zipei did not care. At 5 o'clock in the afternoon, the education department announced Mu Qiqi's final exam result. She got a total of 731 points. It was higher than her previous score of 724 points. Of course, the education department monitored her entire exam. They did not give her any special privileges. The education department also posted her questions on the internet, so that people could compare the answers. Although it was a series of actions to clear Mu Qiqi's name, Mu Qiqi had already applied to study forensic science. Just as Sheng Xiao expected, after Mu Qiqi's results were exposed, the matter of exchanging test papers that had just died down was brought up again. Mu Group's shares had been affected several times, and they had suffered huge losses. Papa Mu could not stand it any longer, and so arranged to meet with his lawyer and Mu Qiqi, so that Mu Qiqi could speak up as soon as possible. 10% of Mu Group's shares was not a small amount. However, Papa Mu knew that the loss of Mu Group would be more severe if he delayed any longer. That was when Mu Tongxue suggested that she would go with her lawyer. As long as she apologized to Mu Qiqi would forgive the Mu family faster. Papa Mu thought about it, and did not stop her. Since he had promised to restore Mu Tongxue's status as the daughter of the Mu family, he would give her that chance. That was why Mu Tongxue and the Mu family's lawyer went to the little mansion together. Su Zipei quickly asked the Mu family's lawyer when she saw Mu Tongxue. Why is she here? Miss Mu, I'm here to apologize. It's okay, Aunt Zipei. Mu Qiqi said to Su Zipei. Now that my results are out, and the share transfer agreement has been delivered, you don't have to be afraid of her. Why should I be afraid of her? I'm just worried that you will feel uncomfortable. Su Zipei snorted. I didn't expect that the Mu family would forgive her so soon. That's not surprising. After all, Mu Tongxue can't scold her for the rest of her life. She won't be satisfied with that. It was Mu Tongxue's first time entering the little mansion. What other reason could she have for coming to Mu Qiqi's new home? She just wanted to see if she could find any clues from the little mansion. She wanted to see if the man behind Mu Qiqi had left any traces in the little mansion. Miss Mu, the share transfer agreement will be completed after you sign it here. The lawyer reminded Mu Qiqi. Aunt Zipei, please sign it. Mu Qiqi pulled Su Zipei and said, I'll give you the 10% shares. Qiqi. Su Zipei was stunned. Aunt Zipei, this is my gift to you. Sign it now, so that we don't have to trouble the lawyer to transfer the shares. Mu Qiqi said to Su Zipei. You've helped me and taken care of me. You deserve it. But, Aunt Zipei, it's useless for me to hold the shares now. Mu Qiqi glanced at Mu Tongxue, who was sitting beside the lawyer when she said that. She realized that Mu Tongxue had put away her bad habit of acting after the blow. She was much quieter now. However, she did not think that Mu Tongxue's quietness was a sign of regret. She was thinking and plotting a scheme. Su Zipei thought about it again and again. Finally, she signed it. I'm just keeping it for you temporarily. Mu Qiqi had no intention of taking it back since she had given it to Mu Tongxue. She just wanted the Mu family to pay the price and make them suffer. Then, Mu Tongxue stood up and said to Mu Qiqi, Sister, I'm sorry. It was my fault in the past. I hope you can forgive me. Whether I forgive you or not, we won't have anything to do with each other anymore. You can be your mistress, and I'll study in my university. I'll learn my lesson in the future. You don't have to say why you're here. We both know that you're not the second young lady who likes to pretend to be pitiful, and I'm not the scapegoat who gets bullied. From now on, I just hope that you won't mess with me. I'll remember that. Mu Tongxue did not refute a single word, appearing very obedient. However, Mu Qiqi would not fall for that. Since you've remembered it, you can leave now. Sister, before I leave, can I visit your room? Mu Qiqi sneered and nodded. Sure. Then, the two sisters entered Mu Qiqi's room one after the other. Mu Tongxue looked around after she entered the room and said, It's better for you to be here than at the Mu family. What clues did you find? Can you find my wild man now? Mu Qiqi asked in return. Be careful if you want to find him. I'll be in your care in the future, sister. The meaning behind Mu Tongxue's words was clear. She would not let Mu Qiqi off so easily, and would definitely bite her to death. Even so, Mu Qiqi was not afraid. Bring it on. I've chosen forensics anyway. If you feed someone the wrong medicine in the future, we'll have corpses to talk. Mu Tongxue looked up at Mu Qiqi. The girl's change was certainly surprising. Sister, that man has changed you too much. Chapter 97. Sheng Xiao only gave Mu Qiqi the courage to fight back. But, if Mu Tongxue did not hurt her again and again, Mu Qiqi thought that she would not have so many troubles at the age of 18. Soon, Mu Tongxue left the small mansion with the Mu family's lawyer. Meanwhile, Su Zipei asked Mu Qiqi, What did you two talk about? Aunt, I will not be wronged again. You can be sure about that. But you have given me all your shares. Giving them to you is more useful than giving them to me. Then, you won't feel that you are trying to climb up the social ladder with Uncle Lu. Mu Qiqi smiled. Su Zipei took a deep breath and patted Mu Qiqi's head. You have changed a lot in these few months. I can't keep up with you anymore. Aunt, I have just grown up. But I still need Uncle Lu's help to speak for Mu Group. I know what to do. Also, the lawyer said that she can be released on bail until the trial. Aunt, I will have to trouble you with her. I don't want to see her. Mu Qiqi knew who Su Zipei was talking about. The first thing Mama Mu would do after she was released from the detention center would be to divorce Papa Mu. So, Mu Qiqi just wanted to watch the drama unfold. She could not see anything like family love from Mama Mu. Okay, I know. Everything went smoothly. But, Lu Wenhua did not expect that Mu Qiqi would give all the shares of Mu Group to Su Zipei without holding anything back. Aside from Sheng Xiao, Mu Qiqi and Su Zipei were truly relying on each other. Even so, he was still worried that Su Zipei would be hurt if she found out about it. Su Zipei kept Lu Wenhua's words in mind. She thought that there was something going on in the middle of the night. So she listened carefully. Because of that, she saw Mu Qiqi going out at 11 o'clock at night. She saw Mu Qiqi going out. But, she did not know where she was going or who she was meeting. Although Mu Qiqi had gone out before, it was to buy snacks. But this time, Su Zipei realized that Mu Qiqi did not come home until 1 in the morning. She could have found out where Mu Qiqi was with just a phone call. But she would be fooled if Mu Qiqi came up with some other excuse. That was why she simply said nothing. Mu Qiqi did not know that Su Zipei had found out about her going out after Lu Wenhua's reminder. After all, she would go to her new home at night even if it was stormy. Because that was the only time she could be with Sheng Xiao. After hearing about what happened during the day, Sheng Xiao put Mu Qiqi on the washstand and leaned between her legs. He looked at her and said, Since it's over, do you want to go out and play for a few days? Can I? Mu Chichi asked, hooking her arms around his neck. I'll arrange it. Then he buried his head in her neck and kissed her earlobe, the earlobe with his name tattooed on it. Mu Chichi fell into Sheng Zhao's arms and let him do whatever he wanted. After a while they were back on the big bed. Although they did not have their first night, and Sheng Xiao was waiting patiently, it was inevitable that the two of them would be intimate now that they had broken through that boundary. But they did not take the last step. Lying on the bed, Sheng Xiao looked at Mu Chichi and lifted her chin. Little one, you haven't smiled for a long time. Why don't you smile? How can I smile now? Mu Chichi hooked her arms around Sheng Xiao's neck. Why? What are you not satisfied with? Sheng Xiao asked. Mu Chichi got up and kissed Sheng Xiao's Adam's apple. Then she lay down again. I just want to be with you. But I am afraid that I will know more about the Sheng family. That is not what you should think about now. When the time is right, I will arrange for you to meet the Sheng family. But not now. Sheng Xiao caressed Mu Chichi's cheek with his finger and promised her. I promise that I will let you subdue them one by one. Isn't it too early to say that? Mu Chichi did not want to hold on to her expectations so soon. Sheng Xiao lowered his head and kissed Mu Chichi's thin lips. I just don't want you to be afraid. Then the bedside lamp was switched off. In the dark, there was nothing but the sound of their kissing. Love and comfort were necessary. But in the end, Sheng Xiao cared about Mu Chichi's body. Even if the pain was coming sooner or later, he had to follow the doctor's advice and do it step by step. He would first adjust Mu Chichi's state every time they were intimate. It was good for her. After midnight, Mu Chichi slept in Sheng Xiao's arms. Even in the summer, Mu Chichi did not want to let go of his hands. Sheng Xiao was sweating all over, but he let her be. Xiao Xiao, I am so hot. Turning on the air conditioner will lower your immune system. It is not good for your body. That being said, the great crown prince of Huang Yao did not mean what he said. He did it just so that Mu Chichi could sleep comfortably. How could he not spoil his little one? I want to go out and play with you, Mu Chichi said in her sleep. I think you are fantasizing about me. But was the matter with the Mu family really resolved? It seemed not. The next morning, Mama Mu was released from the detention center after being released on bail. Even if Su Zipei did not want to see her, she still waited for her at the door. After all, Mama Mu had nowhere else to go. I have arranged a place for you to stay. You can keep using the lawyer, since you want to sue Mu Chichi. Zipei, I still want to see Mu Chichi. But Mu Chichi does not want you to see her. Su Zipei answered straightforwardly. She is going to university soon. She does not want to have anything to do with the Mu family. But there is something I want to tell her. Mama Mu's expression was solemn. I am too selfish. You can tell me what you want to say. Mama Mu glanced at Su Zipei. She was about to speak, but swallowed her words. Su Zipei glanced at Mama Su. She found her expression strange, but she did not ask. It was just that once this secret was made public, many things would change, especially Mu Chichi's future. Still, Mu Tongxue had promised Papa Mu that she would settle Mama Mu's divorce once Mama Mu was released. There was no telling if she could wait until the secret was revealed. Chapter 98. After settling Mama Mu down, Su Zipei returned to the small mansion. She did not tell Mu Chichi that she saw Mu Chichi going out. She did everything as usual. She waited until Mu Chichi left the house at 11 o'clock at night. She followed Mu Chichi quietly. When she saw Mu Chichi getting into Sheng Zhao's car, she took a few steps back. Suddenly, she understood why Lu Wenhua asked her to be careful. He must have seen Mu Chichi and Sheng Xiao leaving the house. Then, she remembered what Mu Tongxue told her about Mu Chichi's secret meeting with a man at night. It turned out that Mu Chichi and Sheng Xiao had been going on a secret date before that. But she did not know about it. Chichi, young Master Sheng. Su Zipei covered her chest and went back to the mansion. She sat in the living room. Her mind was in a mess. She had never thought that Mu Chichi would fall in love with her savior. Then Su Zipei called Lu Wenhua. She knew that Mu Chichi would not come back that night. Lu Wenhua thought that something important had happened to Su Zipei when he received the call. But when he entered the small mansion and sat opposite Su Zipei, he saw that Su Zipei looked very serious. She seemed to be in a state of shock. Did Muchichi go out? You saw it. That's why you told me, right? Su Zipei raised her head and asked Lu Wenhua. I don't want you to be kept in the dark, Lu Wenhua replied. These two kids. Su Zipei's hands were trembling, but she forced herself to calm down. You didn't tell anyone, right? Why would I tell anyone about this? Lu Wenhua replied. I'm just worried that you'll get hurt. I will handle this. It has nothing to do with you. Please don't make decisions on your own in the future, Su Zipei said to Lu Wenhua. Zipei, after such a long time, I thought that I had entered your heart. Don't you understand what I'm doing? Lu Wenhua was a little hurt by Su Zipei's tough words. I really don't understand you now. It doesn't matter what Qiqi has done. It doesn't matter if she is hiding it from me. As her aunt, I will stand by her side unconditionally. If you are not a like-minded person, then I will not continue to be with you. Su Zipei said to Lu Wenhua seriously. Even if you are in my heart, I have to be sure that you will not hurt Qiqi. Zipei, Qiqi is like my own daughter. How could I hurt her? Su Zipei looked at him seriously. Both of them looked at each other for a long time. Finally Su Zipei nodded. If that's the case, no matter what happens in the future, I hope that you'll stand on our side and protect us. As for the other matters, I will naturally deal with them. Lu Wenhua did not mind it at all. The Sheng family is a dangerous place. If we don't stand by Qiqi's side, she will lose all her confidence. Do you know where they went? There's a villa area near Shengting University. The person I hired tonight has just reported to me. Young Master Sheng should have bought some property there. I want to go in. Can you think of a way? Su Zipei asked Lu Wenhua. Although Lu Wenhua was surprised why Su Zipei wanted to go in, he still nodded and agreed. I will try my best. Actually, it was not difficult to understand. For Su Zipei, she had to protect Muchichi in front of others. But it was an indisputable fact that Muchichi and Sheng Xiao had lied to her. She naturally had to settle this matter and vent her anger at Muchichi. Otherwise, it would be extremely embarrassing if someone else used this matter, or if the Sheng family found out about it, and she knew nothing about it. As for the other matters, she would only know after she met the two of them. Muchichi and Sheng Xiao lived together secretly in the small house. Of course, it was not the style of the crown prince of Huangyao. But because Muchichi cared about it, he had to be careful. The next day, at 5 o'clock, the two of them woke up together. But when they walked out of the villa, they saw Su Zipei standing in front of their villa. Muchichi was stunned. She wanted to let go of Sheng Xiao's right hand, but it was too late. She stopped moving. When Su Zipei saw the two of them walking out of the villa, she closed her eyes and cried. How could you do this? How could you? Aunt Zipei. Muchichi was both afraid and apprehensive. Su Zipei walked to the two of them with tears streaming down her face. Sheng Xiao said to Muchichi, Go and open the door. Su Zipei followed Muchichi into the living room. Then, she sat on the sofa and covered her face crying. Muchichi squatted in front of Su Zipei and held her hand with trembling hands. Aunt, please hit me. As a result, Su Zipei really punched her. How can you be so bold? You are living together with a man. Aunt, I like Xiao Xiao. I don't want to let him go. So, I want to tell you, but I am afraid that you will object. I am so afraid. You said that Xiao Xiao is our savior. I am so afraid. You said that I can't be a match for him. Seeing Muchichi kneeling on the floor, Su Zipei could not bear it. I am afraid because I feel sorry for you. Do you know what kind of family the Sheng family is? Aunt, I am not afraid. Since you are not afraid of this, why are you afraid to tell me? Su Zipei sighed deeply. Do you know how sad I am? Aunt, I am sorry. Sheng Xiao was standing behind them, but he knew that Su Zipei did not mean to make things difficult for Muchichi. Moreover, Lu Wenhua stopped him from speaking for Muchichi, so he just stood aside. He knew that Muchichi cared a lot about this aunt of hers. She stood up from the sofa and walked around the villa. When she saw that the villa was filled with the smell of the two of them, she could not help but burst into tears. When she arrived at the kitchen, she saw that it was clean and tidy. She turned around and said, Don't sneak around in the future. It's bad for your health to wake up at 5 in the morning. Also, both of you don't know how to cook. You should go home and eat. Chi-Chi nodded and said, don't sneak around in the future. Aunt you. Chi-Chi, you used to be timid and cowardly, and I was afraid that you would be taken advantage of. But after this period of time, I can see that you have changed. So, I will not interfere with your decisions. But no matter how difficult it is to say, you must tell me in the future. I don't know how the Sheng family is, and I don't want to know. But if young Master Sheng cannot protect you, you still have me. I can help you and protect you. Just don't hide it from me like today. Can you do that? Chapter 99. The two of them hugged each other and cried for a long time. It was only after much difficulty that they stopped, and Su Zipei led Chi-Chi to Sheng Xiao. Young Master Sheng, may I have a word with you alone? Chi-Chi asked. Sheng Xiao pulled Chi-Chi closer to him and wiped her tears. Then, he brought Su Zipei into the study and closed the door. Young Master Sheng, are you just playing with Chi-Chi or? Sheng Xiao crossed his arms and leaned against the desk. He answered Su Zipei, I am serious. But you know the Sheng family. If I am not confident, I will not expose her in front of everyone. Even if it is the Sheng family, I can still help her. Sheng Xiao answered Su Zipei. He was not as lazy, devilish or playful as he used to be. He was very serious. But why Chi-Chi? There is no why. It is her. There is no one else. Su Zipei wiped away her tears and nodded. All right, since you have decided to be together, I will do my best to protect Chi-Chi. But young Master Sheng, I have something to tell you. If Chi-Chi is hurt one day, I will fight you to the death. Su Zipei nodded and said, that's right. You will not have that chance. After they finished talking, they walked out of the study one after another. Chi-Chi went up to them. Aunt Xiao. All right, you should rest. The sun is not up yet. Let's talk tomorrow. Su Zipei waved at them. Lu Wenhua went forward and held Su Zipei's shoulder. They did not stay in the villa for long. Chi-Chi watched them leave, but she could not do anything. She knew that her aunt still needed time to digest. Seeing her standing at the door in a daze, Sheng Xiao reached out to Chi-Chi and pulled her into his arms. Why? Do you feel guilty now? Aunt does not blame me. She is a righteous person. But I. After Sheng Xiao heard this, he carried her horizontally and placed her on the piano table behind him. Then he covered her with his tall body. You have a good aunt. I know. Soon, Sheng Xiao's kiss landed, and her clothes fell to the ground. If that's the case, I'll *CK you today. Here? What? You still want to pick? Before Chi-Chi could say anything else, her chin was lifted, and Sheng Xiao's warm palm moved down her spine. Her body was so sensitive that she couldn't help leaning back. The pain from that night was incomparably clear, but she did not flinch. She clung to his shoulders with both hands. When Sheng Xiao saw that, he picked her up by the waist and quickly returned to the bedroom. Then he took out a condom. Chi-Chi blushed and looked away. At the same time, she was very afraid because she knew how unforgettable the pain was. Seizing the opportunity, Sheng Xiao lifted her chin and stared at her with his beautiful eyes. Can't concentrate? Xiao. Chi-Chi called out softly. Perhaps she herself did not know that her voice was trembling and begging for mercy. It was no different from an aphrodisiac that struck straight at a man's heart. Xiao. What's the hurry? Sheng Xiao smiled mischievously when he heard Chi-Chi's soft cry. After that, he did not hold back and expressed his feelings with intense actions and words. It was 8 o'clock in the morning when she woke up. Chi-Chi was relieved when she saw that Sheng Xiao had not left yet. He was still asleep. Beneath his messy hair was a perfect face that captivated and mesmerized people. Chi-Chi blushed when she remembered what happened just now. She wanted to get up, but her legs were weak, and she almost rolled off the bed. Fortunately, Sheng Xiao reached out and caught her. Chi-Chi fell into Sheng Xiao's arms and stuck herself to his burning body, not daring to move. Hungry? Sheng Xiao asked over Chi-Chi's head. Yeah. Chi-Chi nodded. I want to pack up and go back to see Aunt Zipei. Sheng Xiao opened his eyes and looked down at Muchichi. Then, he rolled over and wrapped her in the blanket before carrying her over his shoulder. Xiao Xiao. Muchichi was shocked. Congratulations on becoming my woman. Sheng Xiao moved closer to Muchichi and teased her. You have taken my first time. You have to take responsibility. When did I say that I won't take responsibility? I'll say the ugly words first. I think I have the potential to be a pervert. I might want you anywhere. And when that happens, you won't be able to take it. You just like to bully me. Muchichi could not help biting Sheng Xiao's nose. I know you're just scaring me. What if that's true? Muchichi looked at his half-smiling face. Her heart raced, and she was afraid that she would sink deeper into it. She quickly pushed him away. Aren't you going to work? Sheng Xiao sneered and did not say anything else. Instead, he put her in the bathtub and cleaned her up. Muchichi enjoyed Sheng Xiao's service and felt the discomfort in her body disappearing bit by bit. She was finally Sheng Xiao's, and Sheng Xiao belonged to her alone. Sheng Xiao, the crown prince, was hers. After washing up, Sheng Xiao sent Muchichi back to the small villa. Then, he went back to Huangyao. Muchichi thought about what happened in the morning. She felt sad, especially when she saw Su Zipei. Aunt. Since you've made your choice, you must be loyal to it. I understand. Su Zipei smiled at Muchichi. Thank you, Aunt. Moreover, I've promised Wenhua that we'll get along and see if we can become a family. Really? In fact, Su Zipei did this not only because she had feelings for Lu Wenhua, but also because she had other plans. She wanted to help Muchichi gain some background. She could not have nothing. Who knew what would happen to the Sheng family in the future? Lu Wenhua knew that she had such thoughts. But he did not object. After all, it was enough for him to protect the person he loved. Come and have breakfast. I still have to go to the hotel to deal with that woman. She seemed to have a secret to tell me, but she did not say it out loud. I'll ask her today. Chapter 100. Su Zipei arrived at the hotel in the morning. She saw Mamamoo packing her luggage. She asked, Do you have a plan? I spoke to Muchichi last night. He asked me to go to him today to discuss the terms of the divorce. If everything goes well, I want to go abroad after I finish my sentence. Mamamoo said to Su Zipei. What's the point of staying here now that my family is gone? She could start afresh after she went abroad. It was a good place to go. However, Su Zipei did not forget her purpose of coming to the hotel today. Yesterday you wanted to say something but stopped. What did you want to say to me? Mamamoo stopped what she was doing when she heard Su Zipei's question. She turned around and looked at Su Zipei. What secret do I have to tell you? I know you. Don't you look like you have a secret now? Mamamoo chuckled inside. Zipei, I know you care about Muchichi, so I can't tell you my secret now even if I have it. I'll give you an explanation after I get the divorce. Then I'll wait. Are you going to the Mu family? Don't worry. I have my lawyer with me. Everything will be fine. I've had enough of that man. After being married for so many years, Papa Mu always asked her to behave herself. Otherwise he would scold and beat her. She had endured it for so many years. Now it was the end. All right then. After all, it was a private matter between Mamamoo and the Mu family. She could not force herself to stay by Mamamoo's side. Moreover, even if she was worried about Mamamoo might not appreciate it. After all, no matter how much the Mu family had done wrong, Mamamoo had never done anything wrong. I'm leaving now. Mamamoo brought her lawyer to the Mu family's house. Mamamoo hesitated when she saw the familiar house. But she still walked in. Papa Mu was sitting on the sofa in the living room. There was the divorce agreement on the coffee table in front of him. Mu Group had just started to improve. He did not want to waste his time on Mamamoo. After all, he had given her 10% of the company's shares, so that she could speak up for Mu Group. After being married for so many years, I think I owe you something. So here's the check. You can fill in the amount you want. I won't complain. Mamamoo could not believe it. She never thought that Papa Mu would be so easy to negotiate with. But the check on the table and the divorce agreement were all signed. Papa Mu was not lying this time. Could it be that he still had feelings for Mamamoo? Actually, that was not the case. After Mama Mu called Papa Mu last night, Mu Tongxue told Papa Mu, "Dad, you can agree to whatever request that woman makes tomorrow. Then, you'll go on a business trip and leave the rest to me. What if you fail again?" Papa Mu clearly did not trust Mu Tongxue enough. Believe me, she won't be able to take a single cent. It was precisely because of that conversation that Papa Mu was being so generous. He rose to his feet when he saw that Mama Mu was not moving. "We've been husband and wife for so many years, and I don't want to see you leave with my own eyes. That's why I'm leaving first. I'm going overseas for a business trip." Mama Mu never expected that Papa Mu would be so understanding. Could it be that he really owed her something? She thought that Papa Mu was scheming, but he really left the house. Mama Mu looked at the divorce agreement and the check, and turned to the lawyer doubtfully. "If that's the case, it's a good thing. You don't have to trouble the lawyer. If that's the case, I'll leave first. You can pack your things," the lawyer told Mama Mu. "All right, we'll contact each other if there's any problem." Mama Mu was not on guard because Papa Mu had already left. Then, she went into her bedroom to pack her things, when she heard movement from Mu Tongshue's room upstairs. Mama Mu cautiously went upstairs, and found Mu Tongxue sitting on the floor, her body covered in wounds and her face in pain. Mu Tongxue quickly threw herself into Mama Mu's arms when she saw her. Mommy, you're finally back. Daddy is going to beat me to death. Please take me away." She remembered that her daughter had been trying to make her a scapegoat when she was detained. Mama Mu quickly pushed her away. "I'm not your mother anymore. I've divorced that man." Mu Tongxue was in disbelief. She knelt on the floor and hugged Mama Mu's legs, begging, "Mommy, don't go, please. Stay with me. Swear, I'm not a member of the Mu family anymore. Just tonight. Stay with me. Daddy's on a business trip and I'm scared." Mu Tongxue hugged Mama Mu's legs, and would not let go no matter what. Mama Mu's heart softened at that. "I'll leave tomorrow morning." Mu Tongxue hugged Mama Mu's legs, and burst into tears when she got a response. Mama Mu helped her to bed when she saw her in pain. She took care of her as she always did. But she was not a member of the Mu family after all. "You'll be alone in the Mu family from now on. Be careful. Mommy, you don't want me anymore. You don't want me anymore." Mu Tongxue was sobbing pitifully, which was why Mama Mu stayed by her side and took care of her for the whole day. It was fortunate that the man had gone on a business trip. Otherwise, she would not have stayed in the house for a second. If not for that man's conscience, and did not make things difficult for her after the divorce, she would have ignored Mu Tongxue, no matter how miserable she was. When night fell, Su Zipei called Mama Mu to ask why she did not return to the hotel. Mama Mu told Su Zipei that everything was going smoothly. She would pack her things and leave the Mu family early the next morning. Su Zipei told Mama Mu to be careful, because she knew that the father and daughter of the Mu family were not easy to deal with. Mama Mu nodded in agreement. But she did not know that she would not survive the night in the Mu family. Mu Tongxue stayed in bed for the whole day because she had been abused too much. After Mama Mu made her dinner, she returned to the room where she had lived with the man for decades and packed her things. Everything appeared to be fine, but the entire mansion was engulfed in thick smoke in the middle of the night. The neighbors quickly called the police, and the firefighters arrived 20 minutes later. Mu Tongxue was calling for help from the second floor, and the firefighters quickly took action. They had her jump down from the second floor, and someone would come to her rescue. The fire was so fierce that Mu Tongxue hesitated several times. Fortunately, everyone tried their best to dissuade her, and she finally jumped out of the window, but she fainted when she reached the ground. Chapter 101. When Su Zipei received the call, it was not even 4 in the morning. She was surprised to receive a call from the hospital, but when the doctor mentioned Su Ziqing's name, Su Zipei's heart skipped a beat, because there was only one thought in her mind. It's over. At the moment Mu Qiqi was in her new home. She was very restless in her dreams. Sheng Xiao was woken up by her waving hands. Seeing that she was sweating, he propped himself up and hugged her in his arms. "Little one, you can't be honest even in your dreams. Su Zipei called Mu Qiqi while rushing to the hospital. Sheng Xiao saw his phone screen flickering. He got up and picked it up. Aunt Ziki. Young Master Sheng. Bring Mu Qiqi to the hospital. Hurry, her mother is dying. Which hospital? Kong Sheng. Sheng Xiao hung up and turned to look at Mu Qiqi, who was sleeping on the bed. Suddenly, he understood why Mu Qiqi had nightmares. It was because mother and son were connected. Then he put on his clothes and put Mu Qiqi on his shoulder. He did that so that she could sleep a little longer. At the moment, in the emergency department of Kongsheng Hospital, Mu Tongxue had already woken up. The first thing she did when she woke up was to ask the medical staff, "Where's my mommy? Did you manage to save my mommy?" Miss, don't worry." The nurse quickly comforted her. "How can I not worry? The fire is so big that I can't find her." "Your mother is being resuscitated," the nurse replied. "You have inhaled carbon monoxide too. You need to rest." Mu Tongxue struggled to get up, but Su Zipei had already stormed into the emergency room angrily. "Mu Tang Shui Aunt Zipei." Mu Tongxue choked. She felt terrible. "Don't tell me that you don't know why there was a fire in your house." "Aunt Zipei, I really don't know. I really cough." "Family member, don't agitate the patient," the nurse advised Su Zipei. "If there's anything, please investigate it first." Su Zipei looked at Mu Tongxue. She looked at her hateful face and gritted her teeth. "If I find out that you have something to do with this, I won't let you go." "Aunt Zipei, I'm really innocent." Mu Tongxue defended herself. Even if she had done something, she wouldn't have been so heavy-handed. Both men were arguing in the emergency room when Mu Qiqi woke up in Sheng Xiao's sports car, surprised at her surroundings. "Xiao Xiao, the clothes are in the back. Put them on and get out of the car," Sheng Xiao told Mu Qiqi. "Mama Mu was caught in the fire. I don't know if she's alive or dead." Mu Qiqi's eyes widened when she heard the second half of his words. She quickly picked up her clothes from the back seat and put them on. "You go find Auntie. I'll deal with the aftermath." Before she got out of the car, he reached out and held her hand. "No matter what happens, I'll be here, okay?" "I know." Mu Qiqi quickly got out of the car and met Su Zipei at the entrance of the emergency room. "Qiqi. Aunt, what's the situation now?" Su Zipei grabbed Mu Qiqi's arm and shook her head. "It's not looking good. I told her not to stay in the Mu family, but she didn't listen to me. Now it's all over." Mu Qiqi couldn't tell what she was feeling. Even if Mama Mu had treated her badly before, even if she didn't treat her like her own daughter, she was still her mother. She was still her family. "I couldn't get through to that man. I called the people from Mu Group, and they said that the scumbag had gone abroad." Mu Tongxue. In the emergency room. "Humph," Su Zipei snorted. They went to the operating room and waited for about 2 hours. Then the police came to the door. Su Zipei quickly asked the police, "How did the fire start?" "Preliminary investigation. The fire was not turned off in the kitchen. There was still some food on the stove. The fire spread from the first floor to the living room and the master bedroom. Even so, they shouldn't have been hurt so badly. They had a phone, and they could open the door and leave. Moreover, Mu Tongxue could be saved. Don't worry, madam. Miss Mu's room was upstairs, and it was far away from the fire. But she fainted after she was saved. The firefighters didn't know if there was anyone else in the villa. Moreover, the fire spread from the living room to the front door. Obviously, they couldn't get out. Most importantly, there was an explosion. Of course, this is only our preliminary investigation. We'll have to wait for the detailed investigation." Su Zipei signed on behalf of the Mu family, but she couldn't believe that Mu Tongxue had nothing to do with it. How could it be so coincidental? Mu Qiqi sat outside the operating room. She couldn't help texting Sheng Xiao. "Xiao Xiao, have you left?" "Not far from you," Sheng Xiao replied. Mu Qiqi looked up at the corridor. She saw Sheng Xiao sitting on a chair not far away. He was looking at her with a serious face. Mu Qiqi was relieved. Then, the doctor came out of the operating room. Su Zipei went up to him and grabbed his arm. "Doctor, how is my sister? We've tried our best. I'm sorry. Please go and see the patient for the last time." The doctor said apologetically to Su Zipei and Mu Qiqi. Susie Pei paused for a moment. Then, she ran into the operating room. Mu Chichi followed behind her. But when they saw Mama Mu lying on the operating table, her whole body scorched, Susie Pei couldn't help but cover her mouth and cry. Mu Chichi couldn't believe it. It was her mother. Pei. Mama Mu was lying on the operating table and shouted with difficulty. I'm here. I'm here. Susie Pei quickly went up to her. She could smell the burnt smell coming from Mama Mu's body. Her skin was festering. Her face was unrecognizable. Then, Shue might not be from the Mu family. Mama Mu tried her best to speak to Susie Pei. I don't know who's whose child. I'm pregnant with. Susie Pei could barely hear Mama Mu. She leaned closer to her. Sister, don't talk. That man is Shen Jianchuan. Mama Mu tried her best to open her eyes. She said to Susie Pei, you have to find out. Seeing that Mama Mu didn't have the strength to speak anymore, Susie Pei quickly pulled Mu Chichi to her. Chichi is here. Chichi is here. Sister. Chi. Mama Mu reached out her hand. But she couldn't touch Mu Chichi. Mu Chichi stood in front of Mama Mu. Her eyes were filled with tears. In that very instant, she could not even keep her footing and stumbled backwards. But unexpectedly, Sheng Zhao's warm palm supported her body. Chapter 102. Sheng Zhao knew that Mu Tongxue was also in the hospital. But since he could not let her know about their relationship, Sheng Zhao simply closed the door to the operating room and let no one enter. Then, he held Mu Chichi in his arms. Mu Chichi tugged at Sheng Zhao's shirt and cried in his arms. She would never see this person again, no matter how much she hated him. 2 of her family members had passed away at the age of 18, and one of them was her dearest relative. At that thought, Sheng Zhao hugged Mu Chichi even tighter with his arms. Susie Pei turned to see Mu Chichi crying. She slowly stopped crying and patted her shoulder. Your mother is so badly hurt. Even if she survives, it would be a fate worse than death. It's better to leave. At least she won't have to suffer. Mu Chichi nodded. Apart from dealing with your mother's funeral, there's one more thing. We have to find out the truth behind the fire. Mu Chichi struggled out of Sheng Zhao's arms. She stayed quiet for a few seconds before turning to Susie Pei. Auntie Pei, I want to see Mu Tongxue. Susie Pei understood what Mu Chichi meant and looked at Sheng Zhao. Sheng Zhao looked down at Mu Chichi and nodded. Go. Be careful. I'll take care of the aftermath. Mu Chichi let go of Sheng Zhao's waist and held Susie Pei instead. Like mother and daughter, they walked to the emergency room with the same anger. Meanwhile, Mu Tongxue was getting an intravenous drip. Sister. Mu Chichi did not give her a chance to speak. She dragged her from the bed and onto the floor. Mu Tongxue fell on the floor. Tears streamed down her face. She could not resist at all. The nurse quickly went up to Mu Chichi and stopped her. What are you doing? The patient is badly hurt. Mu Chichi looked down at Mu Tongxue and pinched her chin. It's just a serious injury. Why don't you just die? Mu Tongxue was sobbing. It took her a long time to catch her breath. Mommy, how is Mommy? You still have the cheek to ask. Mu Chichi slammed Mu Tongxue's head against the wooden cabinet. When the nurse saw that, she quickly stepped forward and pushed Mu Chichi away. I'll call the police if you do that again. Mu Chichi staggered and almost lost her balance. But when she regained her balance, she said, Mommy has always been biased towards you. Even during the exchange of exam papers, she sacrificed a worthless person like me for you. Even if I hate her, I never thought of doing anything to her. On the other hand, she must have never thought that the person she loves the most would send her to hell with her own hands, right? Sister, what happened to Mommy really has nothing to do with me. No matter how cruel I am, I would never do anything to Mommy. Mu Tongxue cried. You know very well whether you did it or not. But listen up, Mu Tongxue. You better promise me that no one will find any evidence, just like what happened to Grandma. Otherwise, I will definitely kill you. Mu Tongxue was sobbing uncontrollably. The nurse tried to help her up several times, but she could not stand up. But at this time, Mu Chichi said to her, Aren't you going to see Mommy one last time? At least, I want you to remember Mommy's unrecognizable face. I want you to be afraid. Mu Tongxue struggled to stand up. With the help of the nurse, she slowly walked out of the emergency room. Mu Qiqi and Su Zipei followed behind Mu Tongxue. The journey to the operating room felt like a century for her. Finally, they arrived at the door of the operating room. Mu Tongxue looked inside. When she saw Mama Mu lying on the bed, she was so scared that her legs went weak. She fell to the ground. Mommy, you better remember Mommy's face now. Don't ever forget it. Mu Qiqi was hysterical. Her face was red. Lu Wenhua came after her. He held Su Zipei's shoulder and stopped Mu Qiqi. Qiqi, don't be so agitated. It's not worth it. Mu Qiqi glared hatefully at Mu Tongxue, who was on the ground, and finally kept quiet. Before she left, she said one last thing to Mu Tongxue. I'm afraid we can only be enemies in this life. But, the more you want to drag me to hell, the more I won't let you have your way. I'm happy, but what about you? Mu Tongxue was sobbing on the ground. It was obvious that she was very sad. Lu Wenhua brought Mu Qiqi and Su Zipei away when he saw that. After they left the hospital, Mu Qiqi found the place where Sheng Xiao parked his car. The two cars quickly went back to the small mansion. The two women were very sad. Wenhua, about my sister's burial, can I? Leave it to me. Lu Wenhua said to her. Go and lie on the bed for a while. Qiqi. Su Zipei looked at Mu Qiqi worriedly. But Lu Wenhua said to her. Don't worry. Young Master Sheng is here. It's useless no matter what you say. Su Zipei nodded. She was very confused. Especially the secret that Mama Mu told her at the end. It was about Mu Qiqi's identity. She had to find time to verify it. Zipei, the dead are gone. You have to accept it. Don't worry. No matter how much I hate the Mu family, it won't be like them. Let's see what that bastard will say when he comes back. After that, Su Zipei went back to her room. Sheng Xiao, who was standing behind Mu Qiqi, carried her in his arms and walked out of the small mansion. Mu Qiqi was in Sheng Xiao's arms. She was lying on his chest. She was talking nonsense. Xiao Xiao, you haven't had any peace ever since you got together with me, right? Sheng Xiao's handsome face was tense. He did not say anything. Instead, he brought Mu Qiqi back to their new home as fast as he could. Since you know that I haven't had any peace, you should make it up to me now. Sheng Xiao carried Mu Qiqi into the bedroom. He put her on the bed and tore her clothes. Mu Qiqi did not resist. She just watched as the man pressed her down. Sheng Xiao saw that she had no reaction. So he carried her and put her on the dressing table. Mu Qiqi had nowhere to vent her pain. She felt Sheng Xiao's thrusting into her. So she bit his shoulder. Sheng Xiao did not stop. He did it again and again. He used all kinds of positions that he had never tried before. He left all kinds of marks on her body until she went limp and fainted. After that, Sheng Xiao cleaned the marks on her body gently. Then he put her on the bed and covered her with the blanket. Little one, what should I do to make you not sad? After a moment of silence, Sheng Xiao said, Sleep well. I will always be here. Because he knew that Mu Qiqi was in trouble. But there was no way to comfort her when she lost her mother. Now he just wanted Mu Qiqi to sweat and have a good sleep. Chapter 103. On the other hand, Su Zipei was lying on the bed. Her face was pale, and her eyes were filled with sadness. Lu Wenhua sat beside her bed. He held her hand and comforted her. It has already happened. Don't think too much about it. You should think more about Mu Qiqi. There was a time when I hated her so much. But now she died a horrible death. Forget it. Let me help you lie down. Su Zipei nodded. She looked at Lu Wenhua. Suddenly, she remembered what Mama Mu told her before she died. She asked her to investigate Shen Jianchuan. But she knew nothing about Shen Jianchuan. So before she lay down, she asked Lu Wenhua. Wenhua, do you know Shen Jianchuan? Why not? He is the young master of the Shen family. He is a playboy. He used to be brothers with that bastard Mu. But he got into trouble, and got into a fight with someone. Then he became a vegetable. Now he is lying in the hospital. So it is normal that you have never heard of him. Why are you asking about him? Nothing. Su Zipei shook her head. Then she lay down. Although she did not know what happened between Mama Mu and Shen Jianchuan, she had to find out the truth since her sister had such a question. After Mama Mu's funeral, she would investigate the hospital where the man was admitted to. Then, she would find out about Mu Qiqi's identity. Have a good rest. I will take care of the hospital. Thank you, Wenhua. Actually, she felt more at ease with this man by her side. At least, she had someone to rely on when something like this happened. A day had passed since the incident. Papa Mu rushed to the hospital in the evening, looking travel-worn. The mansion was burnt and Mama Mu was charred. The first thing Papa Mu did when he entered the hospital was to identify Mama Mu's body. Papa Mu looked serious when he saw the mutilated body. Then, he went to Mu Tongshua's ward. Dad! Mu Tongxue ran to her father when she saw him. It's okay, Shuer. Papa Mu hugged Mu Tongxue and comforted her. It's all over now. Mommy! But Mommy! I know everything. I've gone to see your mommy. Papa Mu's eyes reddened. It was as if he could feel the pain and suffering of being a married couple for more than 10 years. Your mommy is not blessed. Sigh. Dad, I want to save mommy, but the door won't open. Do you know what's going on? I can't open the door. Dad is on a business trip. How could he know the details? We need to listen to the police's description. Papa Mu immediately defended himself. In fact, Mu Tongshua's question meant that she had thought about saving Mama Mu. She wanted to fulfill her wish, but all she wanted was for Mama Mu to be hurt. She never really wanted things to turn out like this. However, she could not open the door no matter how hard she tried. If it wasn't for her father, she really couldn't think of any other reason why things would turn out this way. However, she was the one who gave Papa Mu a perfect alibi. He had left the country. If this incident was determined to be an accident, then it would be fine. But if it was caused by someone, then it would be her responsibility. She never imagined that her father would be so ruthless. It's fine. Everything is fine now. Mu Tongxue clenched her fists. She knew that staying by her father's side was like asking a tiger for its skin. If there was a conflict of interest, the man in front of her would definitely sacrifice himself. It seemed that she had to find evidence of her father's involvement in the fire. Otherwise, how could she escape? I'll give your mother a proper burial. She's a pitiful person after all. I don't think Aunt Zipe would let us touch Mommy again. How could we? After all, we didn't divorce. Why did he not let Su Zipe touch Mama Mu's body? Wasn't it simple? He was afraid that Su Zipe would find out about the details. Therefore, even though Mu Tongxue and her father appeared to be a loving father and filial daughter, both of them were harboring their own agendas. Soon Mu Tongxue left the hospital. When she arrived at the police station, the police handed Mama Mu's belongings to them. 2 rings and a pair of earrings. Take a look. Is there anything else? Mu Tongxue burst into tears at once. But she took Mama Mu's belongings from the police. I'm sorry for your loss. The police are still investigating the cause of the accident. We'll give you an accurate answer when the time comes. Thank you, officer. Mu Tongxue took the rings. Then, the father and daughter went to Grandpa Mu's house. Grandpa Mu could not help but sigh when he heard that Mama Mu was burned to death. Grandpa Mu even called Papa Mu into his study. He asked him, how did Ziqing die? There was a fire in the house. I know that Ziqing asked you for a divorce. I heard that you agreed to it without hesitation. That's not your style. Did you know that Ziqing? Father, don't talk nonsense. Papa Mu interrupted Grandpa Mu. I just came back from Japan. Grandpa Mu snorted coldly. He pointed at Papa Mu's chest and said, if I find out that you're related to this incident, don't blame me for turning against you. Father, you've misunderstood me. Mu Tongxue was outside their study. She heard their conversation. Even Grandpa Mu did not believe in Papa Mu's innocence. Not to mention Mu Tongxue. But now Mu Qiqi and Su Zipe were sure that she was the one who killed her mother. How could she prove her innocence? At that thought, Mu Tongxue clenched the relic in her hand, her mind recalling her mommy's burnt face. 1 day and 1 night passed. Mu Qiqi did not wake up even once. She only had nightmares and talked in her sleep. Sheng Xiao stayed by her bedside for the whole day. Su Zipe rested for the whole morning. Then she went to her new house. She found Sheng Xiao in the study. They talked about some confidential matters. Young Master Sheng, I can't find anyone else to talk about this. I can only ask for your help. Tell me. Sheng Xiao did not forget that he had made his niece unable to get out of bed. Do you know Shen Jianchuan? Shen Jianchuan? Of course I know him. The Shen family used to visit us when I was young, but he has been in a vegetative state for many years. Sheng Xiao replied. Why do you ask? Is the Shen family close to the Sheng family? Of course. According to seniority, I call Shen Jianchuan big brother. Qiqi might be Shen Jianchuan's daughter. Su Zipei could not care about anything else. She could only talk to Sheng Xiao now. Sheng Xiao's eyes widened when he heard that. Aunt Su, you can't joke about this. You should know that Mu Qiqi has to call me uncle if what you said is true. What? They are related by blood? Not really. It's just that the two families have always been close. Sheng Xiao explained. That's good. So, the most important thing now is to find out if there is such a thing. Sheng Xiao nodded at Su Zipei's words. I will find a chance to arrange it. But the truth was that if Mu Qiqi really had such a close relationship with the Shen family as Su Zipei said, he would be Mu Qiqi's uncle. He would not care if he was an uncle or a brother. He would just be a senior in the family. Chapter 104. But young Master Sheng, if Mu Tongxue really is a member of the Shen family, Mu Tongxue would definitely be one as well. If Mu Qiqi's identity is exposed, Mu Tongxue's identity would be exposed as well. Wouldn't it be the same as the Mu family then? Su Zipei was worried that Mu Qiqi would be treated the same way as the Mu family. But Sheng Xiao shook his head. I know the Shen family. If Mu Qiqi is really a member of the Shen family, she would not be mistreated at all. I would teach Mu Qiqi the personalities and taboos of the Shen family. Moreover, Grandpa Shen is a righteous man who is famous in the military. He would certainly be able to tell right from wrong. That's good. But not everyone in the Shen family is good. They would have to ask for my permission if they want to bully Mu Qiqi. I'm relieved to hear that. What Su Zipei was worried about was that the truth about her parentage was just the beginning of another nightmare for her. She would rather keep it a secret, and no one would be able to dig it out. I'll give you an answer in 3 days. After all, it would not be too much trouble for the Sheng family to approach the Shen family. Then Mu Qiqi. She's still sleeping. She hasn't woken up since she came back yesterday. Sheng Xiao said nonchalantly. Su Zipei was naturally relieved to leave Mu Qiqi in Sheng Xiao's care. Still, there was no telling what would happen to the child without Sheng Xiao's support. If that's the case, I'm going back. Please take good care of Mu Qiqi, young Master Sheng. I still have to go to the Mu family. Please go. Sheng Xiao propped himself up and saw Su Zipei out of the mansion. Then he gave Jingyan a call. Jingyan, go to the hospital and get Shen Jianchuan's hair. Make sure it's his. Young master, old master asked about you not coming back to Huangyao today. Jingyan sounded the alarm. He might cause trouble for you. What? Haven't you gotten used to my personality after so many years? Sheng Xiao snorted coldly. I'll handle it. Just do as I say. Hurry. Understood, young master. After the call, Sheng Xiao returned to the bedroom and saw that Mu Qiqi was still sleeping soundly. He found Mu Qiqi's hair on the pillow and put it in a small transparent bag. Mu Qiqi was completely unaware of everything that was happening before her. Unaware that her life was about to change dramatically. After doing all this, Sheng Xiao picked her up from the bed with the blanket. Only he knew how reluctant he was to part with her. However, it was better to be a member of the Shen family than the Mu family. It was the Shen family. As long as they did not expose their relationship, he could do whatever he wanted. It was better than being the daughter of the enemy, although it was not much better to be her uncle. Hence, Mu Qiqi woke up in Sheng Xiao's arms. She was puzzled when she saw that her body was suspended in the air. Xiao, what's wrong? Since you're awake, get up. Sheng Xiao put her down and got up. However, when Mu Qiqi tried to prop herself up, she found that her limbs were sore and weak. It was probably a side effect of having too much sex. Mu Qiqi didn't expect that Sheng Xiao would nibble her all over under such circumstances. I can't get up. At that moment, Mu Qiqi's eyes were red and she looked shy. Moreover, she was naked, which made Mu Qiqi feel even more embarrassed. Although Sheng Xiao was very familiar with her body now, Sheng Xiao smiled faintly and carried Mu Qiqi over his shoulder. Then he put her on the washstand. Mu Qiqi was very repulsed, thinking that Sheng Xiao was going to ask for her again. Sheng Xiao laughed mockingly and pressed her shoulder. Do you think that I would still have the desire to sin when you look like this? Mu Qiqi turned around and looked at herself in the mirror. Her body was covered in bruises. There was almost no part of her that was intact. Then she thought of Mama Mu. Mommy, she's gone. She'll never come back. What you should think about now is to bury her well and send her on her last journey. Sheng Xiao took off the towel and gently wiped Mu Qiqi's face. I'll look down on you if you keep thinking about what's in the past and what's gone. Mu Qiqi shook her head. Although she was upset, she knew very well that it was the Mu family who caused it. Where's Aunt Zipei? She went to meet the Mu family. I heard that they refused to let Aunt Su take your mother's body away. Xiao Xiao, send me there too. Mu Qiqi's eyes suddenly became resolute. She could not do anything else because her power was limited, but she would not allow anyone from the Mu family to touch her mommy's body. Especially not Mu Tongxue. The Mu family's house had been burnt down. It could not be repaired in a short time. So Su Zipei went to Mu Group directly. She wanted to meet Papa Mu directly, but the receptionist of Mu Group would not let her in. Papa Mu was guilty. Even if he was not, he would not let Su Zipei cause a scene in the company. So Su Zipei could only contact Grandpa Mu. Because Mu Tongxue had no other place to hide now, she took a taxi to the Mu family's house. Su Zipei asked the guard to pass the message. She thought that Grandpa Mu might not want to see her. But to her surprise, Grandpa Mu agreed to it. Mu Tongxue was staying in Grandpa Mu's house. She looked at Su Zipei. Both of them had complicated feelings. Zipei, I'm sorry about Ziqing. I'm sorry for your loss. Grandpa Mu sat in the middle of the living room and said to Su Zipei. Su Zipei walked up to Grandpa Sheng and bowed to him. Then she said, I'm here today because of my sister's body. Since my sister and brother-in-law have divorced, we will naturally take my sister's body away and bury her properly. However, I heard that brother-in-law doesn't seem to be willing to give in. Zipei, I'm afraid I can't make the decision on this matter. Everyone in the Mu family abandoned my sister after the exchange of the exam papers. They even wanted my sister to be the scapegoat and take all the blame. Am I right? Su Zipei knew that Grandpa Mu would not give in easily, so she could only bring up the past. My sister cried out in the detention center, but the Mu family ignored her. In the end, it was my lawyer who helped my sister to get a lighter sentence. Is that right? That's right. But Chapter 105. Grandpa Mu's expression changed when he heard that. He looked at Su Zipei in shock. It was an accident. Whether it was an accident or not, the police can investigate it thoroughly. And she, Su Zipei pointed at Mu Tongxue and said to Grandpa Mu, I believe that no one knows better than her what happened that night. It's just like how old Madam died in your bedroom in this house. She knows it too. Grandpa Mu nodded. The police can't pry her mouth open now, but one day she will talk. By then, I look forward to the Mu family killing her again. Mu Tongshua's face turned pale when she heard the word killing. Zipei, you have said so much based on your own speculation. Where is the evidence? Grandpa Mu pretended to be calm and looked at Su Zipei. If you don't have any evidence, don't you know that I can sue you for slander? You can sue me. Let's see if your son is accurate. Su Zipei sneered. I don't want to talk nonsense. Anyway, my sister is dead. Nobody knows what happened that night except for Mu Tongxue. You should let us go now. So in order to not make a big deal out of this, you should return my sister's body to me. If that scum still wants to keep my sister's body, then I can only make a big deal out of it. I just want to know, after what happened with the exam papers, can the Mu family still take it? This is one disaster after another. Are you threatening me? Grandpa Mu asked Susie Pei in shock. Yes, I am threatening you. I am alone now. What can't I do? Susie Pei said coldly. Grandpa Mu snorted coldly. But in the end he nodded and said, I will discuss this with my unfilial son. But you have to give me some time. It's just a phone call. How long do you need? Well, you should give me an answer before 6 o'clock. Susie Pei was not that soft. After going through all these messy things, the thought of Muchichi being without anyone to rely on made her like a suit of armor, and she learned to move forward bravely. The old man's expression didn't look good, but he still nodded. All right. Then I'll have to trouble you today. After that, Susie Pei stood up and bowed to Grandpa Mu again. Then, she turned around and looked at Mu Tangxue coldly. As for you, you will know the difference between you and Muchichi one day. Mu Tangxue looked at Mu Tangxue coldly. With that, Susie Pei left the Mujia. But when she reached downstairs, she saw Muchichi who was waiting for her. Aunt, you're up? Susie Pei pulled Muchichi into the car. Don't worry. I will handle this matter well. I will not let the father and daughter show their dirty faces in front of my sister again. Don't go and meet them. They are just a bunch of trash. I don't believe that Grandpa Mu would not know what his son has done. Muchichi's heart was filled with anger. Don't you worry. And your grandmother's death. I think Grandpa Mu is doing this on purpose. He knows how evil Mu Tangxue is, but he still thinks that you are the murderer. He doesn't want to know who is right or wrong, so you don't have to worry about it. Mu Tangxue said. Muchichi looked at Susie Pei. She felt emotional when she saw how her aunt was protecting her. Although her mother had passed away, she still had her aunt. Aunt, I feel safe with you by my side. Since you feel safe, go and pursue your happiness. Young Master Sheng will help you deal with all the obstacles in front of you. As for the trouble behind you, just leave it to me. Muchichi's eyes turned red when she heard what Susie Pei said. She hugged Susie Pei. Don't worry, Aunt. You protected me today. I will protect you in the future. She looked at Muchichi and thought about Mu Tangxue. One was loyal, while the other was heartless. She really didn't know why there was such a big difference between twins. However, now wasn't the time for her to think about these things. Apart from finding Mamamu's body, she and Sheng Xiao had to figure out Muchichi's identity as soon as possible. After Susie Pei left the Mu family, Grandpa Mu looked at Mu Tangxue. He remembered Susie Pei's reminder just now, so he called Mu Tangxue to him. Shuer, come here. Grandpa, come here. I won't do anything to you. I just want to know what happened on the night of the fire. Mu Tangxue shook her head and burst into tears. Grandpa, I really don't know why I woke up in the middle of the night because of the thick smoke. Then, I got up immediately and opened the window. I wanted to push the door open to see how Mommy was doing, but I couldn't open the door no matter how hard I tried. I could vaguely hear Mommy's voice. She was asking me not to come out. I was scared. I called the police immediately, but I couldn't find my phone. Then the police came. They asked me to jump down from the building, but I was so useless. I fainted after jumping down. If I didn't faint, I might not have missed the time when the police came to save Mommy. Grandpa Mu nodded and said, If what you said is true, then your mother told you not to go out because she wanted to save you. The fire spread from the kitchen. The living room and the staircase must be surrounded by fire. And your room is the furthest from the kitchen, so it makes sense. Grandpa Mu nodded and said, That's right. Shuer, are you sure about what you told me today? Grandpa, I swear. If I lied today, I will be struck by lightning. Grandpa Mu nodded and gave up. If that's the case, it's appropriate to let your aunt handle the body. It was up to Mu Tangxue to decide whether she was telling the truth or lying. Of course, she could not tell the truth to Grandpa Mu, because she knew that the father and the son were in contact. If she said that she suspected her father, Grandpa Mu would definitely question Papa Mu. She did not know what Papa Mu would do to her if that happened. Susie Pei's words were a good reminder. Silencing her. Could she not learn her lesson from her mommy's tragic death? Then, Mu Tangxue went back to her room. She took out her mommy's belongings. Her mommy never left her hands. But at that moment, Mu Tangxue saw something carved on the inside of the ring. Chapter 106. Shenjianchuan. Come to think of it, she remembered that her mother had been wearing the ring ever since she could remember. She had never taken it off. Could Shenjianchuan be her mother's first love? It was not strange that the Mu sisters did not know about Shenjianchuan. When Papa Mu and Shenjianchuan were brothers, they were not even born yet. After that, Shenjianchuan became a vegetable. Papa Mu felt that there was no need to mention him. So the sisters had never heard about him. Could it be that Mommy had been secretly longing for her first love all these years? No matter what, her mother had passed away. There was no need to look into the past anymore. So, Mu Tongxue did not tell anyone about Shen Jianchuan's name in the ring. She was more worried about how to protect herself now. Su Zipei gave Grandpa Mu a time limit of 6 o'clock in the evening. It seemed that her aunt had made up her mind to get her mother's body back. But from her point of view, it was better for her father to deal with her mother's body. Although she was used in this matter, she was still afraid that others would find out about it. So when she heard her grandpa calling her father, she hid behind the door and eavesdropped. Grandpa Mu wanted to let Su Zipei bury her mother's body, since she was dead. Otherwise, no one knew what Su Zipei would do if she was provoked. But Papa Mu did not care. Father, let's not talk about the fact that she has no power or background. Even if she has, can I deal with her? You can't just give in whenever Mu Group is in trouble. Do you care about our reputation? Grandpa Mu felt that what he said made sense. But he felt that it was better not to provoke Su Zipei and Mu Qiqi. He never thought that Papa Mu would cremate Mama Mu's corpse on his own. In just a few minutes, a complete person was reduced to ashes. At 6 o'clock in the evening, Su Zipei called Grandpa Mu to ask for the result. But Grandpa Mu stuttered. He could not say anything for a long time. Su Zipei understood what Grandpa Mu meant. Finally she said, "It seems like you want to die together with us? Zipei, I have tried my best, but that bastard has cremated and buried her." The old master sighed and finally answered. Hearing this, Su Zipei was instantly enraged. "Bastard! Scum! I won't let this go." After hanging up, Su Zipei was so angry that she burst into tears. At that moment, Mu Qiqi was right beside her. "Aunt, I heard everything. He clearly has a guilty conscience. This makes me even more suspicious that your mother's death is not as simple as it seems. Even if it's not simple now, there's no way to prove it." Mu Qiqi told Su Zipei, but her expression was calmer than Su Zipei had imagined. "Qiqi, since Mommy has buried her, let's just let her be." But Mu Qiqi raised her head and looked at Su Zipei. "I want that bastard to pay the most painful price. Isn't he afraid that his uncles will take over the management of Mu Group? Let's help him make his dream come true." "How?" Su Zipei asked Mu Qiqi. She looked serious. Of course, she agreed with Mu Qiqi's suggestion. "Aunt, have you forgotten that you have 10% of Mu Group shares?" Mu Qiqi said to Su Zipei. "Let's work with third uncle or youngest uncle." With that in mind, Mu Qiqi gave Sheng Xiao a call. After all, she did not know much about the business world. Sheng Xiao heard her suggestion and smiled. Then he said, "My little one, do you know how to take revenge?" "Xiao Xiao, is it possible?" "Of course. Aunt Su has 10% of the shares and your uncles have 8% each. Although Grandpa Mu still has 20% of the shares, it is still possible for him to replace the CEO. After all, the board of directors is a voting system. Of course, we need to add some spice to it." What Sheng Xiao meant was that the other uncles of the Mu family had been coveting Papa Mu's management for a long time. They just needed to communicate with them and form an alliance. But before that, they had to release some information to the media. They had to exaggerate the cause of Mama Mu's death. They had to add some human factors into the story, so that the media would not be able to find any evidence. Moreover, the shareholders would be very disappointed with Papa Mu, because of the exam paper incident. If they betrayed him now, it would be a horrible ending. Both Mu Qiqi and Su Zipei agreed with Sheng Xiao's arrangement. As long as they could make that bastard pay the price, they would let go of their kindness and their bottom line. "Qiqi, Uncle Lu and I will be the most suitable person to deal with your uncles. You are related to that bastard by blood. I am afraid that your uncles will think that it is risky to form an alliance." Su Zipei said to Muqiqi. You and young Master Sheng will deal with the media. He has connections, and you have literary talent. You can make the story more interesting. Maybe the police will think that it is really suspicious, and will put in a lot of effort to investigate. Muqiqi nodded after listening to Su Zipei's arrangement. Aunt Zipei, this arrangement is perfect. Su Zipei smiled and reached out to stroke Muqiqi's head. She sighed. You don't look like a member of the Mu family, no matter how I look at you. I am no longer a member of the Mu family. Have you forgotten Aunt Zipei? Muqiqi did not understand what Su Zipei meant, because Sheng Xiao was still investigating the matter. Huang Yao. Sheng Xiao walked out of the meeting room nobly after the meeting. Jing Yun came to him. Young master, it's done. Sheng Xiao took out a transparent bag from his black suit and handed it to Jing Yun. Do a DNA test. Well, if I tell you to go, then go. Jing Yun did as he was told since it was Sheng Xiao's arrangement. He did not have to go into details to know who the DNA test belonged to. Young master, is it only Miss Muqiqi? Do you want to compare the other one as well? Jing Yun meant Mu Tongxue. Sheng Xiao paused and turned to look at him in confusion. Actually, there are some clues from comparing Miss Muqiqi and the other girl's personality. Miss Muqiqi and the Mu family do not have similar personalities at all. But Mu Tongxue is different. She is vicious and calculative. That is why it is better to investigate her. Chapter 107. Young Master. It's no longer unusual for triplets to have 3 fathers, Jing Yun explained. Jing Yun explained. Even medicine can't give an accurate diagnosis of heredity. How could a normal person imagine it? In fact, Jing Yun was right. Muqiqi's personality was too similar to the Shen family, especially Grandpa Shen. Even Shen Jianchuan himself was a playful person, but at least he was kind, loyal, and brave. But Mu Tongxue, if Jing Yun's prediction was true, things would get interesting. Then how do you plan to get the specimen? Sheng Xiao raised a brow at Jing Yun. Actually, it's easy. I just need a friend from the police station to help me. Be quick, Sheng Xiao ordered. Suddenly, Sheng Xiao was very curious about the result. It would be exciting for the Shen family when the time comes. Of course, Sheng Xiao did not mention it to Su Zipei before the result was out. After all, it was just Jing Yun's conjecture. It was just a DNA test. It would never go wrong. In fact, Su Zipei and Muqiqi could not stay idle either. It was the first time they were planning their revenge, which was why they stayed in the study for the whole day to come up with all sorts of deductions, so that there would not be any loopholes in every step. At 10 o'clock, Sheng Xiao came to the little mansion from Huang Yao. He had planned to bring Muqiqi back to her new home. But he suddenly laughed when he saw how serious Muqiqi was about killing Papa Mu. In the end, one must go through trials and tribulations to make a person grow. Then I'll go to your third uncle tomorrow. It's safer to go to her youngest uncle. Although her third uncle has shown a strong desire to seize the management rights, and an alliance is not out of the question, he might ruin things. After all, people who can show their desires will be guarded against. Do you understand? Sheng Xiao interrupted the conversation between the two of them. But, I know. You're afraid that her youngest uncle won't agree. Sheng Xiao sat down beside Muqiqi and answered. That's because youngest uncle is a smart man. He wants to reap the benefits of others. Now that such a good opportunity has been presented to him, he won't say no. Trust me. Su Zipei nodded with Sheng Xiao's analysis. I'll listen to you, young Master Sheng. As for the paparazzi, I won't use my real identity to contact you. Muqiqi interrupted him. Because things like public opinion might backfire. So I have to disguise myself, especially as a witness who might be related to the fire that night. Sheng Xiao patted her head and nodded. You've learned your lesson. You've taught me well. Muqiqi looked at him and answered firmly. Since that's the case, then it's decided. Aunt Su, I'll take him away. All right, be careful on the road. Su Zipei smiled when she saw how much Sheng Xiao loved Muqiqi. It was probably the only thing that warmed her heart these few days. Although they had been going through a lot of hardships, At least there were people who could support and accompany her in Qiqi. Thinking of this, Su Zipei called Lu Wenhua. Lu Wenhua agreed without hesitation. School hadn't started yet, so he still had a few days of free time. However, once school started, he would be a little busier. Su Zipei understood all that. Xiao, you're not reserved at all in front of my aunt. After getting into the car, Mu Qiqi felt uncomfortable when she thought of Su Zipei's gaze. Do you think she didn't see the marks on your body? Sheng Xiao couldn't help but mock her. She's already experienced it. Don't tell me she can't see it. Mu Qiqi lowered her head and saw the marks on her collarbone. She quickly covered it. I forgot about it. Su Zipei did not have any reaction because she used to be with that scumbag when she was still a teenager. She had been with that scumbag for so many years. Although nothing good happened in the end, she knew that Mu Qiqi was an adult now. She had made her own choices. Even if it was wrong, she would support her to the end. But she knew very well that Mu Qiqi would not change. No matter how the environment changed, she would not change. Idiot. Although everything is in place now, I can't breathe a sigh of relief. Because I know that scumbag might make a comeback until the very last moment. He won't make a mistake. Mu Qiqi remembered her mother's tragic death, and she could not let it go. As for Mu Tongxue, as long as that scumbag is gone, she won't be able to stir up trouble anymore. That's not necessarily true, Sheng Xiao said with a hidden meaning. After all, when the DNA test came out, if she was really a shun, Mu Tongxue would definitely have bad intentions. But it was not easy to enter the Shen family, was it not? Moreover, there was still the possibility that Jing Yun mentioned. If Mu Qiqi was a shun, Mu Tongxue would never imagine that she and Mu Qiqi were twins and had two fathers. When that happened, the Shen family would not admit her identity. Just thinking about it was exciting. Xiao, are you in a good mood tonight? Mu Qiqi could not help relaxing when she saw the smile on Sheng Xiao's lips. You don't have to know about it for now. I will tell you when I have the chance. Sheng Xiao kept her in suspense. But when they reached the villa, Sheng Xiao did not open the door and get out of the car. What's wrong? In the car, we haven't tried it yet. Sheng Xiao looked at Mu Qiqi. His eyes were burning with passion. Mu Qiqi remembered how fierce he was yesterday. She quickly got out of the car. She still had to save her energy for something else. This man's stamina and ability were too shocking. The corners of Sheng Xiao's lips curled up into a beautiful smile with a hint of playfulness and recklessness. Sometimes, teasing this little thing was a very pleasant thing. She was running like a rabbit now. But it was fine. One day, he would catch the little one and she would not be able to run away. Late at night, Papa Mu finally returned to Grandpa Sheng's house. He saw Grandpa Sheng waiting for him in the living room with a serious look on his face. He walked up to him and asked casually, "Dad, you're not asleep yet? Why did you cremate my daughter-in-law?" Grandpa Mu asked Papa Mu sternly, "Dad, I've already told you the reason on the phone. Are you still afraid of a woman? I've already cremated her and buried her. What can she do to me? All she can do is stomp her feet." Papa Mu looked a little arrogant. After all, there was no evidence. And with Mu Tongshua's protection, he could do whatever he wanted now. You better pray that she only stomps her feet. You will regret it if she does anything else. Chapter 108. Papa Mu never thought that Mu Qiqi and Su Zipei would really fight back. Perhaps he never thought that he was heartless or malicious. But to Mu Qiqi and Su Zipei, he was just like Mu Tongxue. He did not leave them any hope at all. So that night, Mu Qiqi stayed in the study of her new home and wrote a long draft. She had to make it look real so that the audience would be convinced. It was 11 at night. Sheng Xiao reached for the spot beside him and found that Mu Qiqi was not in the bedroom. He quickly got up and went to the study. When he saw Mu Qiqi sitting under the night light, he walked up to her and carried her horizontally. "Xiao, who allowed you to enter the study?" Sheng Xiao's voice was cold. "I'm just borrowing it. I didn't go through your things. It's 11. Don't you know that I'll be looking for you everywhere when I wake up?" Sheng Xiao carried her back to the bedroom and put her on the bed, pressing her between his arms. "Do you have to be so serious? The media is better at making things up than you are. Mu Qiqi lowered her head at Sheng Xiao's words, a little disappointed. I'm useless, aren't I? I can only do things that won't help. It's commendable to work hard and have a serious attitude. However, you have to make good use of resources, know their strengths, and make full use of their advantages. You can't do anything well just because you try your best. There are specializations in every field, understand? Sheng Xiao explained seriously. Mu Qiqi nodded. Xiao, I understand what you mean. Go to sleep then. Sheng Xiao moved away from her and pulled the blanket for her. Get in. Mu Qiqi obediently got under the blanket and lay down. Then she asked, Xiao, can I use the script I've written? Only the people involved understand that feeling the most. That's why it could trigger everyone's passion. Sheng Xiao reached out and pulled her into his arms. All right, but you're always by my side. That's the most useful thing for me. Xiao, your body is starting to heat up again. Are you? That's why you should stop doing things that would make me hot. Sheng Xiao warned. Mu Qiqi did not dare to say anything else, and simply curled up in his arms, not daring to move her limbs. She was afraid that she would accidentally ignite his body. The next morning, Su Zipei and Lu Wenhua went to visit Mu Qiqi's youngest uncle. He was the youngest son of the Mu family. However, Grandpa Mu did not dote on him. Although he owned 8% of Mu Group's shares and lived a luxurious life, his ambition was to run a company. All these years, although he did not show his desire for the Mu Group, the people around him knew about his ambition. Uncle Mu was surprised to see Su Zipei and Lu Wenhua. He asked his wife to make some tea, and they chatted on the lawn. A rare guest. Isn't this my second brother's sister-in-law? I'm really curious. How did you find this place? Uncle Mu Xiao was very tall and thin. Looking at his posture, he did look a little lazy and leisurely. He didn't look like someone in charge. I guess Mr. Mu Xiao must have heard about my sister being burned to death. My main purpose of coming here today is to form an alliance with you. She went straight to the point and said, Do you want the management rights of Mu Group? Mu Xiao smiled and answered Su Zipei. Miss Su, it seems like you want to take revenge for your sister? Yes. I'm curious, Miss Su. Why did you come to me? I have 2 brothers ahead of me. Because I believe that once Mu Group is in your hands, no one will be able to take it away from you. As long as you agree to form an alliance, I will vote for you during the board meeting to dismiss the CEO. Moreover, after that, I will give you 10% of Mu Group's shares. This is a win-win situation for you. Mu Xiao laughed when he heard what Su Zipei said. I can't just ask for a board meeting to dismiss my second brother for no reason, can I? We have already found an excuse for you. You just need to form an alliance. Looking at Su Zipei's expression, he could tell that she really hated Papa Mu. Miss Su, since you hate my second brother so much, could it be that he had something to do with second sister-in-law's death? My sister is dead. Not only does he not have to give me half of his assets, he can even marry another wife and have children. Wouldn't you be suspicious if you were him? Moreover, he buried my sister's body without my consent. If he was innocent, why would he be so anxious? Mu Xiaodi listened and nodded. It seems to make sense. If that's the case, it's just as you said. I won't miss such a good opportunity, but we should form an alliance so that you won't go back on your words. Otherwise, if you go back on your words, I will offend my second brother. Wouldn't I lose more than I gain? Actually, it was great for Su Zipei that Mu Xiao was willing to sign the alliance. It was a guarantee for both of them. That's exactly what I want. Both of them signed the contract. Then the alliance was formed. There will be some troubles in Mu Group after this. If that bastard asks you about it, just pretend that you don't know anything. Then we will give that bastard a good beating. I will listen to you, Miss Su. It was said that a man who took revenge was the scariest. But in fact, a woman who took revenge was the scariest. Mu Xiaodi watched Su Zipei and Lu Wenhua leave. He was curious about Lu Wenhua's identity, but Mu Xiaodi's wife knew who he was. He's the vice principal of Eton. You don't even care about the children's education. Of course, you don't know about him. But it also shows that Su Zipei came prepared. Then it will be a good show. The next day, Mu Qiqi and the paparazzi were working together with Su Zipei. According to Sheng Xiao, the paparazzi were very good at making up stories. But Mu Qiqi did not let her guard down. In fact, the paparazzi would not dare to do anything half-heartedly if it was arranged by Jing Yun. Soon, an article titled, "He chose to burn his wife to avoid splitting the family's fortune," became a hot topic on all the major forums. This kind of article touched the nerves of the urban men and women. Once it was published, it attracted a lot of attention. The article was written from an insider's point of view and a secretary's tone. It was about a CEO of an enterprise. Because his wife filed for divorce, he had evil intentions. He burned his wife to death with an accidental fire. He did not allow anyone to take away his wife's body. Once the article was published, it caused a lot of controversy. Not only that, people started to analyze who the people in the article were. Chapter 109. Soon, Mr. C revealed that the CEO of a certain company was involved in an incident a few days ago. The whole country was in an uproar. He reminded everyone that the incident was related to his daughter. This time, a lot of people were able to take their own seats. Isn't he CEO Mu from Mu Group? There was a fire in his house. Moreover, he was in an uproar because the two sisters exchanged the exam papers a few days ago. Now that you mention it, I remember now. If it's true, that man is such a scumbag. Why didn't the police do anything about it? That post went viral on the internet. The topic itself was a hot topic. Moreover, they had invested a lot of money into it. Hence, Mu Group was naturally pushed to the forefront of the discussion. It only took a day and a night for the incident to develop. Papa Mu was very busy. He did not have time to care about it. But everyone in Mu Group knew about it. Even Mu Tongxue saw the post. So, she showed it to Grandpa Mu. When Grandpa Mu heard about it, he was furious. Schwer, has this matter been blown out of proportion? Grandpa, yes. There are tens of thousands of comments under the post. It's very unpleasant. Mu Tongxue was also frightened. But she knew that she was not the target of the incident. Grandpa Mu stood up from the sofa and walked to the window with his walking stick. He said to Mu Tongxue, "It seems like that bastard's position as CEO has come to an end." The incident had become a big deal. There were so many people watching Mu Group. How could the shareholders and the brothers of the Mu family do nothing about it? Moreover, that unfilial son, when the exam papers were out, he promised the shareholders that something similar wouldn't happen again. But now, it had only been a few days since he promised. Mu Group was finally on the right track. Now it was going to be a disaster again. Grandpa, are you going to fire my father? Do you think your father is capable enough to be in that position? Soon, the shareholders of Mu Group called Grandpa Mu. They represented the 4 shareholders and requested for a board meeting. The incident had spread. Now everyone was scolding Mu Group. Everything was so coincidental. It was too suspicious. Grandpa Mu thought about it for a while and finally, he could only reply, "Tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, Mu Group's meeting room. We will hold a board meeting." When Papa Mu got off work, he felt strange because everyone was looking at him meaningfully. Moreover, there were a few people who were sneakily following him at the entrance of the company. Papa Mu did not notice it, and the secretary did not dare to tell him. So Papa Mu did not know that he had become a popular person. After entering the house, Grandpa Sheng waited for his son in the living room, just like the night before. "Dad, you're not asleep again?" Grandpa Mu turned around and sighed. He said to Papa Mu, "There will be a board meeting at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. You're the only one who doesn't know about it now." "Why?" "I don't know why. You might lose your position as the CEO." Grandpa Mu snorted. He turned around and was about to return to his room, but Papa Mu stopped him. "What do you mean? Why do you say that? I've warned you before not to mess with Su Zipei. I told you to hand over Su Zipei's body, but you didn't listen to me. You made the decision on your own. Now your retribution has come. Go and see what's on the internet. The shareholders don't trust you at all. Everyone is waiting for you to step down," Grandpa Mu said. Then he threw his phone to Papa Mu. Papa Mu looked at the news on the phone. His face changed immediately. Dad, it's slander. If others believe you, then it's not slander. Moreover, it doesn't matter if it's slander or not. It has already caused irreversible damage to Mu Group. Do you think that you still have the right to be in that position? She is a woman. But she can still find ways to deal with you. Do you think that everything will end after burning Su Zipei's body? Whether it's Su Zipei now or Mu Qiqi now, she is not someone you can look down on. She has the support of a French tycoon. After saying that, Grandpa Mu went back to his room with the help of his walking stick. Papa Mu finally realized the seriousness of the matter. He called his brothers immediately. He wanted to get some support. But his brothers chose to stay out of it. They would talk about it in the meeting tomorrow. Papa Mu smashed Grandpa Mu's phone. He was furious. He wanted to contact Su Zipei. But Su Zipei did not give him any chance to breathe. She pretended that he did not exist. Humph. That bastard must be jumping around at home now. Su Zipei said to Mu Qiqi, as she looked at the missed calls on her phone. Aunt Zipei, he will try to retaliate. Mu Qiqi knew her father very well. Give him one night. I want to see how many shareholders he can meet. I want to see how many things he can offer to negotiate with them. Qiqi, tomorrow, you and Aunt will go together. Of course I will. Mu Qiqi said calmly. Wenhua said that you are the one who wrote that post on the internet. How can you write about feelings if you don't experience it yourself? Mu Qiqi asked Su Zipei. Su Zipei saw her teary eyes. She pinched her cheeks. Wait a little longer. We will get our revenge soon. Mu Qiqi nodded. She wanted to see that scum being chased away by everyone tomorrow as well. Why didn't young Master Shun come to pick you up tonight? Su Zipei looked at the time. She was surprised that Sheng Xiao rarely worked so late recently. I don't know. Mu Qiqi shook her head. Maybe he is caught up in something. And it was none other than the DNA test results that Jing Yin had sent to him. The results could have been obtained 6 hours after the test. But Sheng Xiao did not have the chance to open it. There was no one in the office now. So he was free. But he did not move for a long time. Young master, is there something you are worried about? Jing Yin asked Sheng Xiao when he saw that. Sheng Xiao crossed his arms and held his forehead. You won't understand this feeling. He was nervous for Mu Qiqi and worried for her. It was all because of his Qiqi. Otherwise, when would the wanton crown prince of Huang Yao show such an expression? Jing Yin had never seen Sheng Xiao like that. It was all thanks to Mu Qiqi. Forget it. Give me the paper bag. In the end, Sheng Xiao decided to accept the truth. After all, he was Mu Qiqi's mental support. Chapter 110. Jing Yin was actually very curious when Sheng Xiao showed him the results of the test. Logically speaking, the two sisters looked very similar, so there shouldn't be such a situation. However, when he was doing the test, he also asked the people at the medical appraisal center and looked up relevant information. Human research on genetics was just the tip of the iceberg. The people at the medical identification center told him that identical twins were very similar. But there were also cases where identical twins were different. Although the probability was very low, it was not unheard of. Similarly, fraternal twins should not be similar. But because the mother's genes were stronger, they inherited more of her genes. So there was a high possibility of them being similar. Jing Yin had looked up the information online. It turned out that there were cases of fraternal twins being very similar. Young master, what's the result? Sheng Xiao put the results on the glass table in front of him. See for yourself. Jing Yin bent down and picked up the results. But before he could say anything, Sheng Xiao spoke first. With that mouth of yours, I'm afraid you could work in the gambling industry. Jing Yin answered Sheng Xiao after reading the results. Because their personalities are too different. Under normal circumstances, identical twins are more similar and stable. Moreover, the people at the medical identification center told me that the difference in determining whether two twins are identical is not limited to their appearance. It also includes their personality, blood type, figure and hair. Now that I think about it, Miss Mu Tongxue and Miss Mu Qiqi are not that similar except for their faces. Especially their personalities. It's just that no one suspected that. Test again. Sheng Xiao was still doubtful after hearing Jing Yun's words. And contact the expert in this field. I want a definite answer. Jing Yun nodded. Yes. I will arrange it as soon as possible. But if the result is the same, what do you plan to do, young master? Let her return to her rightful place since she is a shun. Sheng Xiao said. Because she has a real family. What about Mu Tongxue? If the result is the same, we can make Mu Tongxue think that she is a shun too. Sheng Xiao told Jing Yun. You should know that if Mu Tongxue thinks that she is a shun, will she abandon the Mu family at all costs? With Sheng Xiao's reminder, Jing Yun could already imagine the scene of Mu Tongxue and Papa Mu tearing at each other. If Papa Mu knew that the daughter he had raised for so many years was not his own, his expression would be very interesting. Also, will she think that she has been reborn and can bully Chi-Chi in a new environment? I understand what you mean, young master. Make her think that she is a member of the Shen family and fall out with the Mu family. She would even shamelessly go to the Shen family's doorstep. In the end, when the truth is made public, all that awaits her is endless humiliation. Jing Yun explained Sheng Xiao's intention. So we have to plan this matter well. After that scum of the Mu clan steps down, we will give him the second big gift. Sheng Xiao's expression relaxed, and there was a hint of laziness amidst his nobility. Of course, we must let Grandpa Shen know about the results of the DNA test. That way, he would not be bewitched by Mu Tongxue. Although the old man of the Shen family was not an ordinary person, he was not a simple person. Well, are you going to tell Miss Mu Tongxue about this now? Sheng Xiao took a deep breath and rose from the sofa at Jing Yun's question. There's no need. She has just suffered the blow of her mother's death. Even so, he had to give Su Zipei an answer. Hence, they agreed on 3 days' time. Soon after nightfall, Sheng Xiao finally drove to the little mansion. When he saw the lights in the dining room, he knew that the two inside were waiting for him. Sheng Xiao got out of the car and slowly walked inside. Mu Qiqi smiled when she saw him. You're finally back, Xiao Xiao. Sheng Xiao looked at her and sat down at the dining table. Are you happy? Tomorrow is the day that scum steps down. Of course I'm happy. Mu Qiqi handed Sheng Xiao a pair of chopsticks. Are you so sure that it would work? Sheng Xiao asked in return. Even if something unexpected happens tomorrow, I'm happy to see that scum in pain right now. Sheng Xiao said nothing else, and reminded Mu Qiqi instead. Let's eat. Young Master Sheng, is there a conclusion to that matter? Su Zipei asked, noticing Sheng Xiao's unusual behavior right in front of Mu Qiqi. Mu Qiqi did a double take, puzzled. What matter? Not yet. Sheng Xiao lowered his head to answer Su Zipei. Wait a little longer. All right. What secret do you two have? Mu Qiqi was reluctant and wanted to keep asking, but Sheng Xiao gave her head a squeeze, almost pushing her face into the rice bowl. After dinner, Sheng Xiao led Mu Qiqi away from the little mansion. On the way home, Mu Qiqi stole several glances at Sheng Xiao. Is there something that even I can't know about? You'll know when the time is right. Some things are more interesting the later you learn about them. Mu Qiqi took a deep breath and nodded. She kept staring at Sheng Xiao's profile, her eyes showing a hint of infatuation. Sheng Xiao ignored her and waited until they reached the entrance of their new home before locking the car door and turning to look at her. Since you're so infatuated with me, shouldn't you show me something? Mu Qiqi was taken aback. She looked back at Sheng Xiao and asked uncertainly, how? Sheng Xiao smiled with a hint of playfulness and wickedness and gestured at the back seat with his chin. Mu Qiqi understood at once and was about to resist, but Sheng Xiao had already lifted her onto his thighs and pinned her to the steering wheel so that she couldn't move. Don't you like to peek at me? Aren't you infatuated with me? I'm afraid that someone might pass by. This is our garden. Who would pass by? Sheng Xiao's voice was deep and sexy, tickling Mu Qiqi's heart. She kept feeling that she should resist, but at the same time, she yearned for it. Sheng Xiao didn't give her time to respond. He rolled up the car window, lifted her chin and kissed her. Mu Qiqi didn't dare to move. She could only let him ignite the passion in her. and her body became more and more uncontrollable. He especially loved the place where the tattoo was, and it was a sensitive spot for most women. Xiao, not here. My limbs are numb. Mu Qiqi was pressed between Sheng Zhao's legs and couldn't move at all. Sheng Zhao's eyes were blurry. He opened the door and carried Mu Qiqi out of the car. Chapter 111. On the other hand, Mu Tongxue was not having a good time. It was not easy for her to reconcile with Papa Mu. They covered for each other about the fire. However, Papa Mu was facing the danger of being dismissed. That night, Papa Mu kept making calls in the living room. Mu Tongxue hid in the corridor. She did not dare to show her face. She was afraid that she would vent her anger on him. Why was it that she tried so hard to please her father? She even lost her mother. But in the end, she did not get anything. Instead, she was losing everything. If her father really lost the management rights of Mu Group, what was the point of the Mu family? If she knew this earlier, she would have so. Her only way out now was to please Grandpa Mu. At least, it was better to follow Grandpa Mu than to follow her father. However, she was not free of worries even if she followed Grandpa Mu. Because if the truth about her grandmother was exposed one day, she would become an enemy just like Mu Qiqi. On the other hand, Mu Qiqi was doing very well with the support of a French tycoon. Even Su Zipei had become stronger. She was going to take revenge for her mommy with such a ruthless move. Suddenly, Mu Tongxue felt lost. What was her future? After thinking about it, Mu Tongxue kneeled in front of Grandpa Mu when Papa Mu went to work the next morning. What are you doing? Grandpa Mu asked Mu Tongxue. Grandpa, you know that my father likes to abuse me, my sister, and even my mother. If my father is dismissed today, I beg you to protect me. I don't want to be beaten. Grandpa Mu took a deep breath when he heard that. His face darkened. You are a coward. You only know how to hurt your own family. Grandpa. All right, get up. I will protect you. Grandpa Mu promised Mu Tongxue. It must have been hard on you. You have just experienced a huge change in your family. Hard. After Mama Mu passed away, every time Mu Tongxue felt sad, it was because she did not get any benefits. When did she feel sad? Mama Mu treated her well. But what about Mu Qiqi? Her mother had passed away. She knew that she had to take revenge, even if Mama Mu had never been kind to her. Mu Tongxue only felt assured with the old man's assurance. Of course, in the depths of her heart, it was all because of her own sister Mu Qiqi that the family had come to this state. If Mu Qiqi had lived quietly after she was chased out, the Mu family would not have ended up like this. After all, he was Papa Mu's biological son. Now it was no longer strange for him to have such thoughts. If the upper beam was not upright, how could the lower beam be upright? At this moment in the Mu group, the shareholders' meeting was about to begin. Papa Mu was calm as usual. He arrived at Mu group early to deal with his daily work, as if nothing had happened. At 8:30 in the morning, more than half of the shareholders in Mu group's meeting room had already arrived. The secretary was worried about her future when she saw how calm Papa Mu was. Boss Mu, what? I haven't gotten off the stage yet, Papa Mu said coldly to the secretary. CEO Mu, the old chairman has arrived. He's in the conference room now. Is that incident still as hot on the internet as before? Papa Mu was not in the mood to care about what was going on in the conference room. He only wanted to know if it was still a hot topic on the internet. It's still on the hot search list. It hasn't come down yet. The secretary answered Papa Mu timidly. The public relations department has done something about it. They even called the police. But it's too influential. I understand. You can leave now. Papa Mu was calm. He sent the secretary away immediately. The secretary nodded and left. She felt depressed and uncomfortable every second that she stayed with Papa Mu. Papa Mu looked at the secretary as she left. He lowered his head and continued to deal with his work. Last night, he had contacted many shareholders. Although he had paid a hefty price, he was sure that more than half of the shareholders still supported him. So, wasn't it too early to talk about removing him from office? He did not expect that Su Zipei and Mu Qiqi would appear at the entrance of Mu Group at 8:30 in the morning. Just like last time, Su Zipei was stopped by the receptionist. I'm sorry, Miss Su. Do you have an appointment? You can't go up if you don't. Last time, Su Zipei was stopped by the receptionist because she was furious. She did not expect that she was a shareholder. How could she be fooled so easily today? Even Mu Chichi would not agree to it. Don't you know that my aunt is a shareholder of Mu Group? Appointment. When your CEO steps down, you'll have to think about whether you can keep your job. The receptionist knew who Mu Chichi was. But she did not know that Su Zipei owned 10% of Mu Group shares. She was a major shareholder. After hearing what Mu Chichi said, the receptionist immediately apologized to them. I'm sorry, Miss Su. I'm so sorry. I'll bring you up now. You have your own responsibilities as a receptionist. But don't forget to look down on others. Otherwise, you won't even know how you lost your job. The receptionist was shocked. After all, she had treated Su Zipei badly that day. She did not know what was going on in the company. Who knew that she had offended the shareholders? Soon, they reached the top floor of Mu Group. When they got out of the elevator, Papa Mu came out of his office. When he saw Su Zipei and Mu Chichi, Papa Mu's eyes were filled with mockery. His eyes said, "With just you two?" Su Zipei and Mu Chichi did not back down. But only shareholders were allowed to enter the meeting room. So, Mu Chichi said to Su Zipei, "I'll be outside the meeting room. If anything uncontrollable happens in there, tell me. I'll call the police." Don't worry. I don't think this scumbag has the guts to do that. After all, there are so many shareholders here. Su Zipei purposely raised her voice so that Papa Mu could hear her. Aunt, just try your best. I'm not trying my best for your mommy. I'll definitely do it. Su Zipei said firmly. Early in the morning, Sheng Xiao had helped Su Zipei and Mu Chichi to predict what would happen in the shareholders' meeting. He also taught Su Zipei how to deal with it. Chapter 112. Mu Chichi watched as Su Zipei entered the meeting room. Then, the other uncles of the Mu family arrived at the entrance of the meeting room, one after another. Mu Chichi looked at her youngest uncle subconsciously, because Sheng Xiao had told her to stay at the meeting room. She would be very useful today. As for Mr. Mu Xiao, he gave her a meaningful smile. Then, Papa Mu's secretary came out of the meeting room and asked Mu Chichi, "Miss, do you want to wait in the lounge?" "It's okay. I'll stay here. I won't go anywhere." Mu Chichi was afraid that Papa Mu would use his secretary to do something to her. The secretary did not force Mu Chichi. She just let Mu Chichi stand at the entrance of the meeting room. At 9 o'clock in the morning, all the shareholders of Mu Group had arrived. There were 24 of them. "We have called for this meeting because of the rumors about the current CEO of Mu Group. It's even more sensational this time, murdering his own wife. Because of these rumors, Mu Group has suffered a great blow. Their shares have fallen, and their trust in us has fallen. Our business partners have retreated, and our suppliers have chosen to work with us. I hope that you can give us a reasonable explanation. You promised that you would not put Mu Group in danger again. But, how many days has it been? Are you going to embarrass yourself?" One of the shareholders started to attack Papa Mu when the meeting started. However, Papa Mu smiled calmly. He looked at Su Zipei. "I won't run away from what I've promised. But what if the rumors on the internet were deliberately spread by someone? You know that my wife was killed in a fire a few days ago. I was in Japan at that time. May I ask, how can I do anything to my wife? What do you think, Miss Su? Let's settle our personal grudges in private. Why do we have to let everyone know about it?" Papa Mu purposely pointed the finger at Su Zipei. He accused Su Zipei of spreading the news to the media. "Miss Su, why would she do that to you?" The shareholder continued to ask. "Because I cremated my wife's body without her permission. She wants to take revenge on me. That's why she framed me," Papa Mu argued. Su Zipei smiled when she heard the accusation. She was calmer than him. "I don't understand what you're talking about." "Zipei, how can you not understand? You understand. If Mr. Mu wants to put the blame on me, I'll accept it." Su Zipei shrugged. "But how can you argue that you're incompetent? After the incident broke out, did you look for a PR team? Do you have a way to deal with it?" We're not here to hold you accountable. If you can't come up with a solution, and let Mu Group continue like this, who's going to protect our rights as shareholders? Sheng Xiao had specifically instructed Suzy Pei. No matter how Papa Mu tried to accuse her, she would not admit it. Moreover, she would focus on solving the problem instead of finding the cause. If this matter was planned by you, then the nature of the matter would naturally be different. I will definitely investigate this matter. Brother-in-law, it's fine if you cremated my sister's body, but for such a small matter, do you think I would plan such a big thing to frame you? Suzy Pei asked Papa Mu helplessly. I believe you have nothing to do with what happened to my sister. Why would I frame you if I believe you? What's in it for me? Papa Mu did not know what to say after he heard that. Suzy Pei had completely stopped hating him. She looked as if she was not involved in this matter. CEO Mu, what we want is your solution. You keep accusing a woman. It's an eye-opener for us as shareholders. One of the shareholders quickly spoke up for Suzy Pei. Mu Group's stock price is dropping. You've caused us to suffer huge losses in the last 2 incidents. Now you're trying to frame someone else in this meeting. How can we continue to hand over Mu Group to you? Of course, I have a solution. The documents that my secretary gave you just now are about how to deal with this crisis. Papa Mu snorted. Mu Group has been attacked by others many times. Are we going to endure their persecution? I'm innocent. I've done my best for Mu Group all these years. I've made Mu Group what it is today. Even if I don't have any credit, don't I have any hard work? Are you going to dismiss me because of such a small matter? After the shareholders heard this, they all opened the crisis management materials in front of them and started reading. Meanwhile, Suzy Pei calmed down. She knew that she had to be patient when she was dealing with Papa Mu. I've invited the police to appear on the talk show with me. I want them to explain the fire incident to the public. The public will sympathize with us because of their misunderstanding of us. So, why don't you use this incident as a way to promote Mu Group? The shareholders were silent after reading the documents. However, Mr. Mu Xiao suddenly said, let's let someone else do it. It'll help us regain our trust in Mu Group. We don't need you to do it. Brother, what do you mean? Papa Mu was suddenly nervous. His little brother was usually the one who did not make a move and never took the initiative to speak up. Why was he standing beside Suzy Pei now? What I mean is that there are so many things that we can dig out from your family. It's not just about Shui, or exchanging exam papers, or second sister-in-law's death. There are other things too. We can get through this crisis safely. But what about next time? Brother, think carefully before you speak. Papa Mu said to him angrily. He sounded like he was threatening him. Isn't there still no conclusion about Mom's death? Mr. Mu Xiao retorted. What about chasing your own daughter out of the house? That's only a recent incident. Let's talk about the incident with young Master Shin in the future. What if someone finds out about it? Won't we have to bear the risk with you again and again? Suzy Pei was stunned when she heard about young Master Shin. Could it be that Mr. Mu Xiao knew about these things? No. Did everyone in the Mu family know about it, but they hid it from her on purpose? There are so many talented people in the company. Why do we need a person who is tainted to manage the company? It's up to you if you want to take the risk. But I won't agree to it. After hearing what Mr. Mu Xiao said, the shareholders leaned towards Papa Mu's dismissal again. When Grandpa Mu saw this scene, he understood what the people on the table meant. Chapter 113. Papa Mu did not know that Mr. Mu Xiao and Zipei were doing the same thing. They wanted him to reveal all his trump cards. Now that he had used all his trump cards, what else could he hope for? He could only pin all his hopes on Grandpa Mu. Father, say something. Papa Mu let Grandpa Mu make the decision. I've been working hard for Mu Group all these years. I didn't expect so many people to oppose me. I'm really disappointed. Grandpa Mu knew how much he had done for the company. He had been working hard all this while so that he would not give up his management rights. But, Father, you've been biased all these years. It's time for you to change. Are you going to follow second brother's example and chase those who oppose him out of Mu Group? Mr. Mu Xiao continued. Little brother, I didn't expect you to be so ambitious. Mr. Mu Xiao did not say anything. He stood up with a smile and walked out of the meeting room. He opened the door and said to Mu Qiqi, "Come in, Qiqi." "Uncle." Mu Qiqi was dragged into the meeting room. Everyone did not understand why Mr. Mu Xiao did that. But he pulled Mu Qiqi to his seat and asked, "Qiqi, tell us all about the grievances you've suffered all these years." "Uncle, are you talking about how I've been accused of killing my grandmother? Or how I've been chased out of the house? Or the domestic violence that Mr. Mu has suffered all these years?" Mu Qiqi looked like she was wronged. But she was stubborn. Everyone, Qiqi is second brother's daughter. But he treats her differently. All these years, he has been beating and scolding her. He is biased towards her sister. Why? Because Qiqi is not obedient. He said that Qiqi killed her grandmother without any evidence. In fact, he was afraid that we would pursue the matter. But we want the truth more. But he chased Qiqi out of the house. He thought that he had given us an explanation. But he let a 17-year-old girl wander outside. Luckily, Madame Su pitted Qiqi, so that she did not lose her home. So, I have every reason to believe that the accusations against you are not groundless. You treat your own daughter this way. Then, your wife is even more useless. If this matter is really dug out, will Mu Group be shut down? Can you bear this responsibility? Why don't you just let people forget about you? That would be the best relief for the Mu Group. Most of the people present were already parents. To be able to chase his own daughter out of the house, it was clear that he had a heart of stone. How ruthless. The shareholders couldn't help sighing. I've never seen such a ruthless father. If Qiqi had not come today and Mr. Mu Xiao had only said that, the shareholders would not have been able to resonate with Papa Mu, and they would not have hated him. However, Mu Qiqi had come along. Whether it was intentional or not, she had been a great help in this matter. Why did Qiqi come at the right time? If this wasn't part of your plan, then why are you here? Papa Mu pointed his finger at Mu Qiqi. He was the one who claimed that Mu Qiqi and Su Zipei wanted to frame him. They purposely created a controversy on the internet. Mu Qiqi turned to look at Papa Mu and sneered. How dare you say that? The last time I came to the company to look for you, I was stopped by your front desk. I know that you always despise my family background, but I'm now a shareholder of your company. If I don't accompany her, would I let her, a shareholder, be humiliated by your front desk again? After I was chased out of the house, I was homeless. I had nowhere to go. I could only work in a small clinic. I slept on a stool at night. It was my aunt who saved me and protected me. Shouldn't I protect her? My mother is dead. She wanted to divorce you. So, she was burned to death in the Mu family's house. How can I not hate you? For an 18-year-old girl to say such heart-wrenching words in public. The shareholders were also anxious. Papa Mu was a son. He did not investigate the truth of his mother's death. Instead, he used his daughter to appease his anger. It was unheard of for a father to treat his twin sisters differently and favor his younger daughter, who was beneficial to him. As brothers, he and the other members of the Mu family were never on good terms. In the end, Grandpa Mu had nothing else to say. He said to all the shareholders, "Let's vote. If more than half of the votes are cast, the dismissal will take effect." Mu Qiqi walked to Su Zipei's side after hearing that. The secretary took out a ballot box and asked the shareholders to put their votes in it. What else could Papa Mu say now that his family and private affairs were exposed, and Mu Qiqi was here as a witness? He could only wait for the voting results. After all, he had already negotiated with many shareholders last night. Although he would suffer a great loss, as long as he could keep his position as CEO, it would be worth it. Soon, the votes were tallied, and the secretary made a public vote. Mu Qiqi glanced at Papa Mu, then at her youngest uncle and Su Zipei. How could they not think of what Papa Mu could think of? They were well aware of Papa Mu's behavior. So when Papa Mu walked out of the shareholders' house, they followed him into his house. There are a total of 24 shareholders. 23 of them voted for the dismissal, and 1 abstained from voting. So the decision to dismiss CEO Mu is effective. Papa Mu stood up immediately after hearing that. He pointed at the shareholders last night and said, "You took the bribe and now you are going back on your words. We have already told the chairman about you bribing us. We have also returned all the bribe you gave us. Since it has taken effect from today onwards, my youngest son will be the CEO of Mu Group. Is there any objection? Grandpa Mu seized the opportunity to push Mr. Mu Xiao to take over the position. Father. Papa Mu looked at Grandpa Mu in despair. Even you are going to abandon me? Do you know what Shui said to me when I went out this morning? She begged me to protect her, because she was afraid that you would vent your anger on her and abuse her. I think you will not be so hot-tempered from now on, right? Grandpa Mu said coldly. If you are not happy, get out of the Mu family. Mu Chichi looked at Papa Mu, who lost his composure. She felt that the result was the best consolation for her mother. That scumbag had finally lost his power. She wanted to share the good news with Xiao Xiao the most. Although Xiao Xiao should have known about the result, because he was the one who directed the whole thing. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.